There is a place where heroes are put to the test and legends are made. A portal to uncharted worlds, apocalyptic war zones, and galaxies far, far away. You are a gamer, a soldier, a warrior, an adventurer. No challenge is too daunting. No enemy is too tough. You want to take it to the next level, and we'll get you there. We're putting you in the driver's seat for the most explosive event in gaming. This is the place where anything can happen. This is E3, and G4 has your ticket inside.
Yes! Welcome back!
The biggest video game event of the year has finally arrived, and we've got it covered like no one else.
Nothing will stand in the way.
You'll get all of the breaking news as it happens, the shocking announcements, in-depth interviews with the industry's boldest visionaries, and exclusive hands-on demos of the show's most talked about games. Cancel those dinner plans, call in sick from work, and clear your schedule. This is E3, and you don't want to miss a second of it. Gamers, your time has come. G4's live coverage of E3 11 begins right now.
The always lovely Morgan Webb, and the devastatingly lovely Adam Sessler. Oh, you're such a liar.
Beautiful. We are coming to you live from the Los Angeles Convention Center, and believe it or not, we have 5 hours of coverage today. 5!
Yes.
It's like a marathon, so expect someone to vomit or faint or something.
Or both.
G4 is the exclusive broadcast partner of E3, and this is the only place you'll see live coverage from the show floor.
All day long, we'll have live demos of the show's biggest games right here on our stage. You'll see the latest from Bethesda, creators of Fallout 3. Get ready for an exclusive look at the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim.
I'm ready.
Plus, Nathan Drake is back in Uncharted 3, Drake's Deception. Find out what's in stores for everyone's favorite treasure hunter.
And later, you do not want to miss the shooter that might make you want to upgrade your PC. Yet again, it's EA's Battlefield 3.
This is gaming's biggest week. It's our Super Bowl, our Kwanzaa, and our Flag Day, all rolled into one big burrito that tastes good.
That means, I'll interpret that for you, it's all hands on deck. We've got the floor covered from every angle, and here's what's coming up.
I am live on the floor at E3, checking out all the cool stuff, including this game, Space Marine, a 25-foot drop pod, which brings down this bad boy, protected by missiles to take on aliens. This is the kind of stuff I love, and we'll be bringing you more live from the floor of E3.
It's a perfect world here at E3 when you can hang out with a warrior princess and a snake babe. I am so glad I didn't wear that today. So close to wearing that. Thank God for backup dresses.
Hey you guys, I'm here at the Nintendo booth and it is craziness. There has been so much Nintendo news today and we've got all that and so much more, so don't move. This place is crazy.
And later in the
show. We're going to hear from Sarah Underwood and Blair Herter as well. I'm Kristen Adams, and today I'll be here at the Twitter wall, so just call me Kristen #Adams, okay? We're going to be doing two things, reading your tweets and giving away a ton of prizes like game systems and GameFly subscriptions. So if you want a shot at winning an Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, Nintendo 3DS, or a year's worth of gaming rentals, it's easy. All you have to do is just tweet about E3 and tell us what you think. Use the hashtag E3 on G4 to end up on our Twitter wall and have a chance to win. All right now let's send it back over to Kevin and Morgan.
All right, believe it or not, it's been almost 5 years since the last Legend of Zelda game.
Yes.
And don't say anything about the DS games. I don't think those count. I'm sorry. I knew I was going to have to qualify because someone was already tweeting, wait a minute, I'm playing one right now.
You're just going to have to wait a little bit longer for the new installment, but we can give you an early look today.
All right, let's go hands-on with Skyward Sword.
Yay! Joining us for this demo is Nate Bildorf, localization producer for Nintendo of America. Welcome!
Nate.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for bringing us this beautiful present to start off our show. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what we're doing right now?
Well, what you're seeing is bird riding, basically, and this is a big part of the game because Link grew up above the clouds in this game. That's all he knows. That's all anybody really knows from this village of Skyloft that the game starts out in. There's a world below there, but they don't go there because they had heard that there's a great evil down there that basically would kill anyone who went down there. So everyone, they stay up here, and a lot of the gameplay is not only navigating around like this, but you can actually drop off that bird onto any one of these rocks and kind of explore around. It's a little bit like Wind Waker in that sense, that there's sort of a sea of clouds and things to explore down below.
So is that like a hub to travel around, or is that more?
It ends up being a lot like that, actually. The central town is, which we actually didn't see, but he could have done a buzz over that. It's a fairly big-sized town that's on the biggest rock in the middle. And you go there to, buy potions, upgrade weapons, all that kind of stuff. And then around that is sort of a wide sea of clouds, basically, that has a bunch of little dotted islands to explore. But then the big thing, that's only a small slice of it, because eventually you get these portals to drop down below the earth, and there's an entire world down there to explore.
Because you have to have some dungeons.
Oh yeah, believe me, no. This game, honestly, this game is basically one big dungeon as far as I'm concerned, because you'll be playing along and you won't even realize sometimes whether or not you've entered the dungeon yet. Getting to dungeons is practically a dungeon. It's all basically one giant puzzle that each feeds into the other elements of the game.
And so right now we're actually looking at a dungeon level.
This is actually the first dungeon. This is playable on the show floor, and you can see Julian, who's helping me out, doing some gameplay. One of the great things, obviously...
That guy was just minding his own business.
That's one of the best ways to fight. You go behind them. But see, if they turn and engage you, then even fighting enemies becomes a puzzle, because with Wii Motion Plus, essentially, they're going to map your movement. So if you're moving your sword over here, they're going to guard over here. And so you can see right here, it becomes a puzzle of sort of waiting for an opening. They'll give you, maybe they'll lift their arm a little bit, or they'll rear back to hit you when you hit them with your shield. Really, every single enemy in this game is designed to make the combat feel really fresh and feel really sort of intellectual, because you got to figure out actually how to beat them. You can't just go mindlessly slash them.
Right, smash a bunch of buttons or flail
exactly.
your arms like that, which is what we'll do at first. Is that Wii Motion Plus, is that optional, or is it required?
No, it's
for
required. And honestly, the whole game is based around it. It's not just the sword play, the one-to-one motion with the sword, but aiming, flying the bird around is all based on the gyro and the accelerometer. Some of the items that you actually use will end up using that, like the beetle, which you fly around through the air. So yeah, it's core gameplay.
Well, I like that. Making it a requirement means you can custom tailor every gameplay element around that one-to-one.
And they really have, honestly. They built it from the ground up to do exactly that, and you really feel it. I mean, you get saw Mr. Miyamoto on stage. I mean, you get kind of a workout when you're getting into really heated battles.
No, he was definitely bringing the Miyamoto gun show today. That was nice. Brought out the heavy artillery.
We haven't all seen that show, so yeah, it's good that you shared it.
So music often plays sort of a significant role in Zelda games. Is that going to play a part in this game?
Oh yeah, huge part. And it's, I think they mentioned actually on stage that it's fully orchestrated, and the score is incredible. There's obviously the big sweeping theme that you heard this morning that you'll hear when you're airborne, but even the ambient stuff in dungeons and stuff like that, it's all orchestral, and it's all really just suits the mood to a T. And then, of course, there'll be a musical instrument as well.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
Link's always playing something new. What's going on? Is this like a mini boss battle? Is this a boss battle, or is this like a regular guy?
This is just barely even a mini boss. I mean, you'd know if it was a boss because it's huge, but this is a skeleton that obviously has two swords, and you can see he's giving you kind of gaps to hit, so it becomes a real timing issue where you got to get your sword in the right spot or wait for him to strike you and then hit him.
I love that. Yeah, using that motion plus, got to do the like the upper left to right slash.
It's
to really
so
cut him in there.
satisfying too.
So
I mean,
you can't just sit back and go like,
no. You gotta put your all into it.
So I think something that people are definitely curious about. Skyward Sword, are we looking at Wii, or are we looking for sort of the Wii U, or is any announcements about that been
No,
made?
it's Wii.
It's Wii only, okay.
It'll be Wii, and it'll be this holiday.
Do we have a release date for this holiday, or should we just put
Let's
a
just
two-from
keep it
tag on a
vague, right?
pre-order
All right,
receipt?
holiday.
I like it. All
Holiday it
right,
is.
Nate, thank you so much for coming by.
Yeah. Game looks incredible, and thanks for showing off flying. That was cool to see. I appreciate it. All right, don't go anywhere. Our live coverage of E3 literally just started. It hasn't even been 15 minutes or so.
Nope. Coming up, Irrational's Ken Levine comes by the stage with one of the show's most talked about games.
He'll give us the latest on BioShock Infinite.
But first, we need to address the large man. It might be coming onto our stage.
Is
any
the large
moment
man on our
now.
stage?
Hey!
Ladies and
Monster!
What is going on?
It's so good to see you.
God.
I'm
sorry. I can't believe you're still dressed the same as when we ran that little city called Rome.
I know. Have you talked to Patty lately?
What about the gladiators? Have you seen any of the gladiators?
You know each other?
What about the slaves?
We go way back.
Like how far back?
We used to rule a city called Rome in another life. You didn't know that?
But you're like, I'm...
Oh, please. Adam Mania's getting all flustered. I can't believe
He
it.
is. I'm so glad you keep in touch with Patty.
Well, Patty's cool.
Yeah.
You know, she's still hanging out in the city, you know, taking care of business and
I
everything.
mean, we're loving the little reunion here. I hate to interrupt this, but why?
Oh, yeah, what are you doing here?
Well, we have Hulk Hogan's main event. And even you, that almost have a Hulk Hogan haircut, can become a wrestler, the greatest wrestler of all time, because yeah, with Majesto and Hulk Hogan's main event, you get to pick all the moves. You can't sit on the couch anymore just twiddling your thumbs. You have to jump in the middle of the action. You know, you have to get in front of Connect, and you have this little crazy area where you get to punch and kick and act out, and you can vicariously now be a real wrestler. Instead of watching Hulk Hogan wrestle every week, now you can be the main event, brother.
All right, I'll have to put pillows over all the furniture.
Well, you know, and you know, that's okay. You don't need to worry about that. But, you know, it's all about entertaining the audience, too. So the very moment you leave the dressing room, I mean, you got to act like, you know, you're on stage. So, I mean, you got to practice your moves and get the audience with you. And then if you get in a bad spot, we've got some steel chairs and some brass knuckles. And
well, Hulk,
so fun.
A man of your dimensions implores me to check the game out. Thank you so much for coming by. Hey guys, we'll be right back.
Thank you.
G4's live coverage of E3 2011 is brought to you by Burger King, home of the Whopper.
Welcome back. Now, in 2007, gamers were introduced to the world of Rapture and the decision whether or not to harvest little girls for power.
Totally did. BioShock was an instant classic and X-Play's Game of the Year. Naturally, we're very interested in what Irrational Games has in store for a follow-up. Here's a look at BioShock Infinite.
Elizabeth.
Promise me.
I will stop him.
That is an oath you cannot keep. But promise me that if it comes to it, you will not let him take me back.
Elizabeth! Don't move, I'll be right back.
Joining us now, the creative director of Irrational Games, Ken Levine.
Ken, so good to see you.
Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me. In games, comic books, we talk about this term of universe, and people have already used the term the BioShock universe. But this isn't a true prequel nor a sequel, but it somehow does fit inside. Please explain.
Well, when we started on it, I think our mission was we didn't want to just sort of make one of those sequels that it's like, okay, you give 5 new weapons, a couple of new levels. We really wanted the opportunity just to reimagine the whole thing. Because I think what was so powerful about the first BioShock was this amazing new world that you never experienced before. And so that gave us a ton of freedom. It's also scary as hell because we already had all this stuff and we just had to kind of push that aside, but we kept the core things for me about BioShock are the feeling of that power of having a weapon in one hand and these other powers in the other hand, and exploring this really incredibly detailed world that's sort of set in a period of time, a real period of time, but an exaggerated version of that period of time. And so those things are really core, but we really wanted to just push out and experiment with new things.
Now you brought something with you. In this mystery box next to you, and this actually relates to the skyline and how you interact with it. Yeah, we have this great weapon called the Skyhook, which is both the tool you use to attach to the skyline, but also a weapon, your melee weapon in the game. And we got so excited, we were working with NECA on some action figure ideas and stuff, and we said, well, what if we could make a real life version of this, and for fans, so they could actually get.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and actually we're going to give this one away in a contest on our webpage.
May we take a look at it?
You may, yeah. See, so
I thought it was just a weapon you had around the office to kind of motivate people.
Oh, that's yeah. I mean,
that's good.
I have a series of diabolic devices. So it's a Skyhook thing, and you open it up. Let's see if I know how to open it. And here we go.
Wow.
And this is just a prototype version, but what Booker does is he puts it in his arm here. And it's a melee weapon, so it's kind of this a brass knuckle thing here. And these are the things that extend when you're jumping through the air. This starts spinning, and you actually see it in the game and grabs onto the skyline for you. But it's also, if somebody gets in your face, this extends out and can hit them with it.
So now we're going to be able to really travel around the world using the Skyline system.
Yes. What's great about the Skyline system, and you definitely see in the demo, and we're going to actually have a video coming out next week where I really talk about it in depth. But it's like this roller coaster on top of another roller coaster on top of another roller coaster. It's a system that you can see that they use for freight in the world, to move freight around, but everybody, once the war broke out, started using him to get around, like the way the tunnels are used during the Blitz in World War II. And what's great about it, it's a totally free system. You can just basically jump from anywhere to anywhere, and there's a great sequence in the demo, like Booker needs to take out this Zeppelin, and he could either shoot it down, just like using his weapons, but that takes a long time, and that's the strategy he has, but also he can actually get on the skyline, go up to the Zeppelin, blow it up from the inside, and then he dives out of it in the demo. And that's all in the simulation. That's not a scripted sequence.
Well, you know what? I gotta say, this once again typifies the fact that in BioShock, it's utopia gone horribly, terribly wrong. Do we have a release date yet for the game?
Sometime next year.
All right, that's good enough. If it's within the year for you, I'm more than happy. Ken, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you.
BioShock Infinite, Ken Levine. All right, for even more on the game, to see the official E3 teaser video, just go to G4TV.com/BioShock. Let's send it over to Kevin Candace.
Thank you, guys. A little helpful hint for you. You can get all the best E3 2011 live clips anytime, anywhere, streaming right on your iPhone or Android device. How?
How?
Great question. Download the updated G4 app now at G4TV.com/app.
Now don't go anywhere, because after the break, we'll crown G4's official booth babe.
Oh.
It's the next best thing to knighthood.
Do I get to use my sword?
No, Kevin.
Okay. Plus, we'll go hands-on with some of the biggest sequels ever made. If you like fantasy, treasure hunters, and dialogue wheels, a few of these franchises might ring a bell or two. Stick around, everybody.
When we come back, get ready for a sensational world premiere as we reveal some never-before-seen gameplay from the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. We'll check out exclusive interviews with the cast of Uncharted 3, Drake's Deception. Come on, hurry! Experience the jaw-dropping conclusion to one of our favorite franchises with Mass Effect 3. Then we're gonna tear it up with even more mind-blowing blockbuster titles from E3. Assassin's Creed Revelations will bring Ezio's epic fight for revenge to a thrilling conclusion. And Battlefield 3 is set to change the way you look at first-person shooters by using the most cutting-edge, realistic game engine of all time. You don't want to miss it. E3's heavy hitters are ready to blow you out of your seats. G4's exclusive coverage of E3 continues after this.
Perfect.
Swag, things like keychains, t-shirts, plushie dolls that you're never going to use. But here at Sony, they're giving us some virtual swag that you can upload to your social sites and embarrass the crap out of your parents. Where's the nearest phone booth?
G4's live coverage of E3 2011 is brought to you by the 2011 Ford Fiesta. Drive one.
Back to G4 Live at E3 2011. Now, all this week, we're bringing you the biggest games, and the new Elder Scrolls is the definition of big.
Yes! I'm so excited! Skyrim gives players over 16 miles of land to cover. There's danger around every corner. You know, like huge freaking dragons.
Scary dragons. Let's get an exclusive look at the game.
Yes. The next chapter of the Elder Scrolls series is game director at Bethesda, Todd Howard. I don't even actually know where to start because I have so many questions, but
it's that big a game.
Maybe we should start with just finding out what you brought us today.
We're giving your audience a big sneak peek. We have a 30-minute demo we're showing in private here at E3, but we're going to give you guys a really, really big chunk of it. This is Skyrim running on the 360. We have a brand new engine we've written for the game, all new graphics, all new gameplay. We just try to make a big, crazy role-playing game with as much stuff as possible in it, just overwhelm you with detail.
I mean, obviously, I would not have thought the 360 when I first looked at it, but I'll take your word at it, Todd. I mean, what have you done that's less apparent with the graphics engine and the way that you presented the game?
It's, you know, for us, all the little things that you're seeing here, like plants, micro detail, big epic things like mountains. You can walk to the top of that mountain. So we really deal with levels of detail, streaming that in. We have to draw everything. We can't hide it. You know, being able to look at all these plants, pick up the flowers. We're really big into just suspending your disbelief that you are in this world. You can play in third person as well. So we have a new animation system which looks great. A lot of people like to do this, something we spend a lot of time on as well.
I mean, are you guys just a little bit crazy when it comes to putting those flowers all on the ground?
We are crazy. We have a really big team of amazing people at Bethesda. The group that did Morrowind, Oblivion, then Fallout 3. And after Fallout 3, we jumped on this, and we just wanted to make, you know, hey, let's throw the stone as far as we can.
And so you have a sort of a new AI system as well.
We do. We have this new system called Radiant Story that makes the game dynamic for you. What we're showing here is you can swing, your right trigger does your right hand, the left trigger does your left hand. You can hotkey items. So I'm putting a healing spell in my left hand. So you are who you play. You want to play like a battle mage, you just do it. You don't have to pick some character in the beginning. You can put that spell in either hand. So right trigger and then left trigger. What's really cool is if you pull both triggers at the same time, you're going to get a bigger, more powerful version of that spell. Up here, this is new. These are called the Guardian Stones. These are standing stones in the game that you'll find, and they help you define your character by kind of having the stars bless you with a special power. You can only have one of these at a time. So this one right here, the Warrior Stone, is going to make all of your warrior skills increase faster.
But so this is not something that you pick in the beginning of the game. This is something that happens along the way.
No, you find them as you play. These three are kind of the basic ones. You find them very quickly.
All right, looks like we have some combat here.
We got some wolves here, and as you do things, you know, using your sword, using your shield, you're just going to get better at those things automatically. Your skills are going to go up, and then every skill you increase is going to make you push more toward leveling. This is cool. First time we're showing it the game's interface. So it has 4 different sections, and you can look at all of the items, and we have thousands thousands of these things. And what's really cool is they're all 3D. You can look at them, zoom them around, see like what kind of culture made these. And our artists just went to town. I mean, literally thousands of objects, right down to these elven helmets. The food, you pull off creatures, pork or meat here. There's salmon. And you can cook those things and they become better. Just the level of detail that we go to it astounds even me. I mean,
I like the fact that we're teaching kids if you cook your salmon, it will, on the whole,
it's
taste
better for you, yes. And this is the skills menu. So you look to the stars, and it's like you have this custom constellation for how you've been playing the game. And what's really cool is when you level up, you get to pick a perk. So each of these is actually a perk tree as well. And then as you play, it's drawing this constellation for you. So just looking at your perks is a lot of fun. And then the map here, it really shows what the engine can do. We're just pulling the camera back, and there's the world.
Wow. Back to sort of the classes that we saw there, you have taken a new approach with the leveling system where you're not kind of setting yourself on your path before you've started playing the game.
Right, you just play, and then you get better at certain things. Then when you level up, the perks let you define your character even more. This is one of the first towns you come to, Riverwood, and here you're going to see some of the dialogue here.
And it looks like that when you're conversing, if you played Fallout, if you played Elder Scrolls 4, camera zooms in, you're kind of looking at the townspeople.
It's all real time. It's kind of just a trim thing for us now, not to take you out of the game. And you'll see people having jobs. You can do all these things as well. So
now I can pick up a job too if I think, hey, blacksmithing looks awesome.
You can do it. Smithing is a skill. You can improve your weapons. We have a working economy that you can either do. You can actually sabotage this wood mill if you want.
And so am I going to be able to participate in that economy?
Slightly. It's kind of, you know, it's a light touch, I would say.
Right.
We have horses as well.
Now, that horse doesn't have any armor right now.
It doesn't. Insert all the jokes you want. We'll sell it later for exorbitant sums. Yeah. So horses are a great way to get around the world faster. Yeah. We're riding up into the mountains here, and you're going to see the weather change dynamically.
Yeah, obviously with all this free roaming, sort of, there's always been that ebb and flow from Morrowind to Oblivion of, you know, do you allow the enemies to sort of level up with you, or can you inadvertently wander to an area where you have very high level enemies? How have you dealt with that?
It's something we've done differently each time. This works very much like Fallout 3 in that there are harder areas, there are easier areas. We do randomize it a bit to keep it interesting based on your level. Here you're going to see the biggest mountain in Skyrim, the throat of the world. And at the top of this live the Greybeards. They're masters of the voice, and that's one of the powers you learn. This is one of our dungeons, Bleak Falls Barrow. It's one of our over 150 dungeons in the game. And here, the ancient Nords used to worship dragons, and they're long lost to the Elder Scrolls, but as you guys know, they're back in this game.
And these dungeons are hand-drawn?
Yep, they're all handcrafted. The whole world is handcrafted.
You put 150 handcrafted dungeons in?
We spent a long time. Here you see a dragon coming in. They're unscripted. You know, we don't know what they're going to do.
Right.
So they're great. You know, they came out way better than we thought they would. And so, you know, we were very conservative initially in our design, and now we use them everywhere. We just let them free roam and let them cause havoc.
Well, I gotta say, looking at that dragon, I don't think it sounds like Sean Connery. Todd, you have to stay right there because we need to see more Skyrim, so there's no choice here. That's me in just a few minutes.
But first, let's check in with Tweet Master Kristen Adams, who's at our Twitter wall.
Thank you. I love that I'm already the Tweet Master when I just signed up for Twitter 3 months ago. That's pretty cool. I'm already a Tweet Master. I like it. I'm hanging out in front of the Twitter wall here. Let me tell you a little bit about what we have going on here. We have a tweet counter. We're trying to hit 4 million today, so come on, keep tweeting. Help us out. We're hanging right around 1,000 tweets per minute. And of course, our popular E3 topics here, the top 5. I just want to highlight some tweets here. We got Cheesy Bones saying the environment detail in BioShock Infinite is fantastic. It's bright and really eye-catching. You just forgot to add like Kevin Pereira. Add that next time. And then Eric I Am says, E3 on G4 has officially taken over my Twitter feed, as if watching it wasn't enough for you guys. You're right, Eric, I am. We want to take over Twitterverse too. So keep tweeting. Remember, hashtag E3 on G4. And don't forget, we're giving away free gaming consoles every hour. So let us know what you think of E3 by tweeting with the hashtag, once again, E3 on G4 for a chance to win. Now let's send it over to Sarah for a very special announcement.
That is right. After weeks of sifting through a ton of applicants, the moment of Booth Babe Truth has finally arrived.
Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, G4's E3 Booth Babe Search winner for 2011 is V-Fam! Congratulations, V! What was it like to find out that you won?
It was amazing. Like, I was speechless and I was screaming and I was just so shocked. It's just such an honor to be here.
I mean, what a cool experience for you.
I am like so excited.
You're shaking. You can't believe it. I mean, this is your first time here at E3. What are you most excited to check out this week?
I was definitely excited for the new console from Nintendo. I mean, new console means new games and just new fun. But I definitely wanted to see Diablo 3, but it's not here, so I'm gonna have to keep waiting.
Well, do you want to go out to the floor and check it out?
Of course.
All right, girl, let's do it. All right, well, V takes her victory lap. Let's go over to Candace.
Thanks, Sarah. When we return, we'll have an exclusive part 2 of our exclusive look at the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. You won't see this gameplay anywhere else. Plus, we'll tell you everything you need to know about the new console just announced by Nintendo, Wii U. We'll be right back.
There are so many things here on the floor of E3 to grab your attention, Saints Row the Third being among them. And this thing right here allows you to kind of step outside yourself and be different and check out the full customization features in this huge open world crime epic, which I cannot wait to play when it comes out. I love monkeying around here at E3.
G4's live coverage of E3 2011 is brought to you by Hanes. Look great, feel great in a Hanes undershirt with the lay flat collar.
Welcome back to G4 Live at E3 2011. This is the only place you'll see live coverage of gaming's biggest event.
All right, now, before the break, you might have noticed that your mind exploded. We had an exclusive look at the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. The game is so big, it's so complex. We just had to spend a little more time with it with a G4 exclusive.
Bethesda game director Todd Howard is back for round 2.
Lord Todd Howard, we are humbled by your presence yet again. Then people are already shouting Game of the Year. No pressure or anything.
No pressure.
But they're already shouting
You can
it.
dial those down a little bit, it'd be helpful.
It was the shot of the salmon and the jerky is what sold them. Like they love knowing that. So when we last left the game, we were outside beautiful Vista mountaintop. We had dragons attacking. Now we're in a dungeon.
Now we're in a dungeon. We're showing some of the dual wielding here. Again, you can put what you want in your hands, and you are who you play. We got some, you know, the combat is really overhauled. You're going to get some kill moves and things like that.
And the constant feedback too. I've noticed, like every action that you do, you're getting some sort of affordance on screen, letting you know.
It's going to tell you, hey, you're getting better at this. This is a guy you find down in the dungeon who's been caught in the spider web.
Oh, wow.
He's this thief who's stolen this golden claw that you're after when you come into this dungeon.
And so, I mean, in true Oblivion style, I mean, Elder Scrolls style, you can decide if you want to free him, save him, or just nuke him with your fire
hand.
hand.
But then he's a jerk and takes off, so he gets his.
There we go.
You're done.
Love it.
And then down in here, this Nordic ruin is, there are Draugr. These are undead ancient Nord warriors who are buried in this tomb. And upcoming, you're going to see me use one of the shout powers. So you use the dragon language and shout, and you're going to do this a lot throughout the game.
That's cool.
And so now you learn the words, but then you have to kind of unlock the power of the word.
You do unlock them by absorbing dragon souls, and there is some of that coming up.
Okay.
Okay, let's talk dragons for a minute. Your character is a dragonborn. What does that entail?
That means you're born with the soul of a dragon. That shout you just saw is called Whirlwind Sprint. It allows you to sprint very quickly through dangerous areas. And upcoming here, we're going to show another shout, which is Slow Time.
Oh, wow.
All right, so we're fighting this guy here.
You can dual wield the spells.
I love that. And there we go. Oh, jeez.
Wow.
And is that, if you use the same spell on each hand, you can use them both at the same time.
If you pull both triggers, you're going to power that up. You can put staves as well. So we have magical staves. You can have 2 staves if you want, put it in either hand. And it's really nice to light certain areas. And we do use water to kind of guide you through dungeons at times. And
so
then,
that's a navigational cue then? Follow the.
We just use it as a visual element sometimes because the dungeons can get complicated.
Right. Beautiful lighting effects, by the way. I mean, it's absolutely a gorgeous game.
Artists really have done
And
a tremendous job.
How quickly can you assign? I mean, we saw a menu pop up earlier, but say if I want to change on the fly, okay, I don't want the axe anymore. I want to switch it to another weapon.
You favorite things, just like you would a web page. You can bookmark items, and then you can use your D-pad to access those quickly. And what you're seeing here is one of our word walls. This is where you learn the dragon language. So you'll kind of take the knowledge from it and then learn this word, and then when you kill dragons, you decide which words you want to unlock and then use those as shouts. And each shout has 3 levels. And it's the longer you hold the button, the more words you say.
Oh, wow.
Here's a dragon priest. They're kind of a high-level boss.
And will killing him, will we be able to take his soul then and unlock that shout? Or?
He's not a dragon, so I don't absorb his soul.
Okay.
But this is, he's a high-level boss. You're going to get better treasure by defeating him.
This is incredible. I'm in awe watching these battles already. So good. So there's no mini mart that we can hop to and just purchase dragon souls in bulk. Then we can't get a satchel dragon souls.
This spell here is called clairvoyance. So if you get that, it'll actually draw a path to your current objective, because our dungeons can get complicated sometimes. So it's a nice way of guiding the player.
And with those shouts, you said that there's 3 levels. Does that mean we have to use like 3 souls to unlock those levels, or we just hold it and then it powers up those
you'd
levels?
You'd have to have collected 3 souls to get all 3 levels.
Is that why this game has over 3 trillion hours of gameplay? Is that?
We don't know. We have lots of people, good tools. We spend a lot of time, and the games they end up big. We want to cram it with stuff. Like, here's the tundra. This is this big, wide open grassland in the middle of Skyrim. And not all the creatures are going to attack you on sight. So you have these mammoths who wander the tundra with giants. You see one of our big cities in the distance, Whiterun.
Gorgeous.
And you can kind of, walk amongst them if you want, unless you, cause trouble.
Now, are these guys on a pre-programmed path, or are they random as well? Are they just roaming the side?
Some of them are random.
Okay.
Some of them will set in areas and say, okay, you kind of wander this, and we'll tell them to go hunt or things like that, and they just, they do their thing.
Now they're walking right next to you, but then if you turn on them, will they try to attack you?
Yeah, I kind of was messing around, so I fight them, and then they're going to fight back. You're going to see me use another shout, which is fire breath. So the fire the dragons breathe, you can learn that as well.
Really?
Now, there is one of those dragons that we're talking about.
Yeah, he's back.
He just had a field day. There was some ragdoll physics there.
Yeah, what just happened? Did he pick him up?
They can randomly pick up guys. We just give them a lot of behaviors, and then they do their thing. They can pick up guys, do bombing runs.
So that's all real time. That's all procedural. This dragon is acting according to.
Correct.
So what are some of those attributes? Do you tell them how hungry they are for villagers, or how much fire they need to breathe per day? Or?
We give them the same stats a lot of our creatures have, and we just give them behaviors. And the AI works, they'll decide in the situation, what is the landscape? Can I fly around more? Do I need to land? Do I need to stomp around? Should I pick this thing up? And here we're going to absorb the soul of the dragon.
All right, so we just defeated the dragon.
And then that's going to allow me to unlock other shouts. And here comes another one. So there can't have multiple dragons at once.
You can't?
They will appear in packs sometime as well.
Okay.
That's a frost dragon that just arrived. It's a much, much tougher dragon.
How is it tougher?
He's harder to kill. His frost breath will not only hurt you, it'll slow you down, drain your stamina.
And so dragons, are there some dragons that are particularly more aggro towards your character, and some that just want to fly around and just be a dragon?
Most of them are after you. I don't want to spoil it. It's part of the mystery of the game.
Okay.
The shout you just saw is Storm Call. It's one of the high-level ones where you can call a storm, and lightning bolts come down and defeat all your enemies.
Oh my God. Todd, when does this come out?
It comes out November 11th, 11/11/11.
Love it. I love it.
Nice.
And it's so gorgeous. You guys like what you saw? I'm assuming that's a resounding yes. I know that was part of a behind closed doors demo, and so again, we can't thank you enough for bringing it on. That
Thanks
means
for
the world
having me.
to
It's
us.
great. We're really excited. Thanks, X-Play, everybody.
That looks so good. That is Skyrim, folks. Todd Howard. Right now, we're going to send it over to the very chatty Adam Sessler, who's looking out for dragons, I think.
Honestly, I think this is one of those times I'm speechless. I think I can speak for everyone here at this table. Well, Sony finally spilled the beans about their plans for the follow-up to the PSP, the PlayStation Vita. Excuse me, we're about to break it all down in a special E3 edition of G4TV.com's Feedback. All right, joining me, you should know her, Morgan Webb. How are you doing? I saw you like 5 minutes ago.
Yes.
And of course, from G4TV.com, the editorial director, Eric Eckstein. Thank you so much for stopping by. So, PlayStation, Vita, this is gonna trouble me all week long.
Vegeta Vita.
We'd already seen it, but the big one was, when is it coming out? How much is it gonna be? What was your take on that?
I feel like people were more accepting of the price than I would have expected.
Really?
I feel like $250 is a lot for a handheld in a market when people are trying to spend that much on a cell phone. Cell phones are a lot more expensive, so they don't have as much disposable income. I found the price a little bit high, but maybe you disagree.
I thought it was actually really well priced for $249 for the Wi-Fi version, $299 for the 3G version. Look, everything that you get, the front and rear camera, I mean, you're basically buying this really portable, awesome electronic device.
But I feel like for $200, it would be a must-buy. It would almost be like that slight price difference would make it a little bit of an easier purchase.
As a point of contrast, though, it is the same price as what the 3DS is currently priced at, with a lot more features.
However, I don't really think that the DS is necessarily... The 3DS is doing very well right now.
Well, the 3DS is incomparable with the types of games that it can play for the Vita. I mean, if you look at what the Vita lineup is, Uncharted looks phenomenal. A lot of the games, the touch controls are really, really innovative.
Okay, I agree that it has some games, but the problem is that the PSP in general has been kind of hurt by its lack of really stellar titles, and so I just worry that that's going to carry over to this generation.
One of the key things that I think really hurt the PSP is that you had games being made by developers who are experienced at making games for a traditional console that has 2 analog sticks, yet they're trying to put it on something that has 1 analog stick. We finally see the solution to that problem, and I finally get to play, if it looks like Uncharted, it should play like Uncharted. It seems to be offering that promise, though. That was really touching.
It plays on like Uncharted. You can play combat, you can play the game as Uncharted, but the touch, I mean, I gotta tell you, playing that touch, I know everybody hates touch, but when I tried it.
I am not a touch hater.
You like the back touch?
Don't be touchy about touch.
My problem with the game is, like, if you just have to tap on where you're supposed to go, that's not playing a game, that's tapping a screen, and that is not the same thing.
No, but it's interesting the way you slide across the pillar to kind of jump from one to one, or climb
do you think it's there to become more accessible to less experienced players?
I gotta tell you, after playing it for 5 minutes, first I was like, no, touch is stupid. And then I started to play it, and I really liked the way that you jumped over chasms or did all that different things with the... I don't like the combat as well. I think the combat's better with the analog. Maybe I'm just used to it.
My final question, Eric, because I did not get to stay around after the Sony press conference to actually play with it. How heavy is it? Is that something that we have to consider?
It felt about the same weight as a PSP. Maybe a little heavier, because you're getting that really sharp screen, and it's got a lot of technology inside there. I imagine it's probably a little heavier.
With everything going in my pockets, I have to get a really good belt to keep everything from my pants coming down. Yeah, pants coming down, that's the theme of my E3. All right, for the full feedback experience, be sure to check out our show online. New episodes go up every Wednesday at G4TV.com/feedback. All right, let's head it over to Candace.
The X-Men, Wolverine, Blade, and Iron Man are coming to G4, and like you've never seen them before. You don't want to miss our new upcoming series, Marvel Anime. You'll see 48 episodes of superheroes busting heads with a few surprises along the way. G4 is the exclusive broadcaster of Marvel Anime, which means you won't see it anywhere else. For more on this groundbreaking series, just go to G4TV.com/Marvel. Coming up, we'll break down the biggest announcement of E3 2011, get all the details about Nintendo's Wii U. Its new touchscreen controller might change the way you play video games forever. We'll be right back.
G4's live coverage of E3 2011 is brought to you by Marvel Anime, the legendary name, the epic superheroes. Coming in July, only on G4.
Until today, but the festivities unofficially kicked off yesterday with press events hosted by Ubisoft and Sony. Here's what went down.
Ubisoft started off their press conference with a splash, as they happily are celebrating their 25 years of bringing games to the world. The first big look to the future from the past was the onstage demo of Rayman Origins. Michel Ancel was making everyone in the LA theater ache for their childhoods.
It's a way to revive my first love.
But the thing everyone was looking for was Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Future Soldier. With its synchronized killing and 4-player team coordinating, that was unprecedented.
Understood, Hunter.
But the showstopper was the new trailer for Assassin's Creed Revelations that had everyone in the theater on the edge of their seats.
It's nothing I do, I see.
Then it was a jump across town to the LA Sports Arena, where Sony was holding its press conference.
I want to welcome those of you watching at home on G4.
Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception showed off a long chunk of gameplay that showed it was coming along nicely.
Finally, Drake's secret will be revealed.
BioShock Infinite truly is embracing PlayStation Move after Ken Levine mentioned dissing the utility in an interview.
We don't do that.
But the biggest event right now was Sony revealing the true name of the NGP was Sony Vita. Demo a few games, but none more impressive as Uncharted Golden Abyss. The other big feature was mentioning the price tag of $249 for Wi-Fi only and $299 for Wi-Fi and 3G. Between Sony and Ubisoft, it's hard to say who has better game, but be sure that G4 will bring you all the hottest titles that E3 has to offer.
What up, holding things down here at the Twitter wall? We're still approaching 4 million tweets. Keep them coming. Our top 5 E3 tweeted topics. Number 1, hashtag E3, Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, Nintendo, followed in 5th place by Wii. Those have been pretty much staying the same. I feel like I'm the weather girl of the Twitterverse. I just need a clicker to change things and bring things around. All right, I want to point out a couple of tweets here. Let's go with Night Arms X75. Yes, Elder Scrolls 5, Skyrim on hashtag E3 on G4. This game looks so insane for all of us hardcore RPGers. I would like to say 11, 11, 11 now, please. And just for that, Night Arms X75, you just won a PlayStation 3. Yay! Woo-hoo! We're giving away a console every hour. Just use the hashtag E3 on G4 for a chance to win. For complete rules, go to g4tv.com/win. Right now, back to Morgan.
All right, we have got more from E3 2011 on the way, including a hands-on look at The Darkness 2. Find out why running the Mafia while having supernatural powers isn't as easy as you'd think. We'll be right back.
G4's live coverage of E3 2011 is brought to you by Burger King, home of the Whopper.
Welcome back to G4 Live at E3 2011. We're the official broadcast partner of E3, which means we've got live coverage right on the floor all day long.
All day long. In the next hour, we've got some of the show's biggest games, including the remake of a classic shooter, Halo Combat Evolved's anniversary for the Xbox 360.
Plus, we'll talk vast deserts, lost cities, and snappy one-liners in our 2-part demo of Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception.
Woo! And later, Sarah Underwood will show off our official G4 booth babe, the ropes, and what it means to wear the crown.
It's a really good fit. That's what I've been told. But first, let's send it over to Kevin and fresh from the floor, Blair Herder.
Fresh. That's one adjective. I gotta be honest though, you looked pretty nice in the booth babe outfit.
Well, yeah.
What?
And I appreciate you letting me wear your clothes today.
Of course, you're welcome.
Very much, yes.
So what did you think of Nintendo's morning show, first and foremost? That's where you were, and no?
You know,
yes?
I really wish we were doing this show a week from now so I can get my thoughts together on it.
Right.
I gotta say, just initial impressions, I think because my expectations were so far to the left that I was expecting more of a kind of a home console, and what we saw was a variation of that.
It's got a console-y portion to it.
So, but I think that I'm going to reserve judgment for 6 months from now because, again, we're not looking to see this for the next year and a half on store shelves. So I'm very interested to see what they have to do with it, or what they're going to do with it in the next 6 months.
And if it turns out that simple controller really is a handheld device that can live away from the Wii U system.
Yeah, but either way, I got to say, I mean, you got to take the temperature of the crowd. people, all of the fans, very excited about it. So I think it's going to do well. Like Nintendo, everything they do is going to make a ton of money regardless of what we think about it.
All right, well, let's get back to the demos. What do we got?
Well, our next demo is the follow-up to the shooter that let you watch To Kill a Mockingbird in-game. No, that was actually entertaining. The Darkness 2 puts you back in the depressed, angsty shoes of mob boss Jackie Estacado.
You'd be depressed, too, if you had, like, a dead girlfriend and demonic forces bossing you around, I believe.
That's true.
Let's go hands-on.
All right, joining us for this demo, Project Director Sheldon Carter, everybody.
Hello, Sheldon. Welcome,
sir.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Welcome to the program.
All right, Sheldon, gotta get out of the way right now. Jackie is now the head of the crime family. He has no reason to use the Darkness powers outside of the fact that sending a Darkling to get a beer or wash your underwear, which are pretty fun. But really no reason for him to pop out the Darkness anymore. What leads him to pop these powers out again?
Yeah, I mean, imagine you've got a voice in your head that's telling you to kill things. It's kind of this demonic
Not hard
voice.
to imagine?
Yeah, you're gonna push that. You're gonna push that stuff down. And so he's kept it down for 2 years. And the setup for our game is it's 2 years after the events of the first game, and he's attacked by a group that we're revealing at E3 is the Brotherhood, and they've come to take the Darkness from him. They're an ancient organization. They were formed by a saint, of all things. And the Darkness, though, it corrupts. So it corrupted the sainthood, basically, and now they're after the Darkness. They want to take it from Jackie.
Wow. Is happiness going to be a downloadable part of this game?
That comes free with every Darkling.
Yeah.
And every execution.
You can unlock a smile. Yeah, let's get to the executions as well, because that's something you can do with these incredible powers.
Yeah.
What are the executions exactly?
Well, yeah, how it works is you're quad wielding. So you've got two demon arms. You've got a grab arm and a slash arm. So you can grab an enemy with the demon arm, and then you've got these options. You can, wrap him up and put an arm through his chest like an anaconda.
Oh, like a meat puppet.
Yeah, totally. Rip his head off, turn him upside down, grab the legs and wishbone him.
Jesus.
So you got a lot of different options that the player can do, and that's kind of what we call quad wielding. So you can
And
do all those things at the same time.
I haven't seen any menus or radial dials for quad wielding. Are you using the shoulder buttons and like the triggers basically on the controller so that you can use all four at the same time?
That's right, absolutely. You got your two triggers, and then you've got grab demon arm, slash demon arm. So it's all your fingertips the whole time.
Right. I gotta say, when you first announced that that's the way you were going to control these things, it sounded a little weird. But I got my hands on the game. Cool. It's very organic to use the shoulder buttons and the trigger buttons because I spent a lot of time as a child pretending I had demonic arms going out of my shoulders, and this is how it should feel.
Yeah,
this
absolutely.
Is what I thought it was
we want it to be that natural extension. If you get into a flow basically with this game, you want it to be just like, oh, I grabbed the car door, I'm using it as a shield. Chuck it at a guy, cut him in half. Right. Turn on a power gun channel and kind of tear guys apart. So yeah.
And that's what we're seeing here. And what are some of those powers exactly?
Right
there was an execution as well. But like the darkness from the comic world, it can pretty much be anything or do anything that it wants. How do you put that inside of a box, inside of a game, and say, okay, here's what you're going to be able to use?
Yeah, I mean, what we're doing is every guy that you kill, basically, you're going to see like numbers pop up, which is essence, dark essence that you're collecting. And you've got talent shrines in the world. You can go and channel that dark essence into your talents. So the one that we're showing, for example, at E3, we're showing gun channeling, and it lets you channel the darkness through your guns, giving you unlimited damage and unlimited ammo for a short time.
So it basically allows you to hack your game and go into God mode.
Yeah, and then what we're going to show you in a second here actually is as you upgrade it, you can actually see through walls and shoot through walls. So the darkness gives you that kind of power to, you basically own encounters.
The darkness is the new game genie. That's basically what
exactly.
we've come
Put
to.
that Sega in and
Now let me ask you, why did you go with the cel-shaded look for this one? I mean, I love the look of the original. I love this look as well. I'm just curious, was there a particular reason?
Well, yeah. We're huge fans of the comic, right? So we went into the comic books and we're just piling through it and we're seeing these big splashes of color and obviously red being a big one with all the blood. And we thought, how do we make a game that looks like a comic book? How do we make it feel to you when you're playing the game it's a graphic novel? So what we call the game, we call the art style graphic noir because it's got this high contrast light and it gives you the drama, but also gives you those pops of color that you don't see in other games.
Right. And speaking of noir in general, how many lights am I going to have to shoot out in this game?
Yeah, we kind of light and dark is a huge element, but it's more with the enemies. So you've got enemies who are throwing flashbangs at you to strip your powers. You have guys, a support Brotherhood, he's got this huge light cannon, and he'll keep it on you. So before you can use your powers, you have to take him out, then you can kill the rest of the guys.
I was just going to ask, between two demonic tentacle arms and a machine gun and a pistol, how is anybody going to stand a chance at actually killing you?
Yeah, you see here, I mean, he's going to turn on gun channeling there, and he can see through the walls. So all these guys hiding in cover, I mean, they're just getting destroyed.
Yeah. I can't do that even if I had demonic arms. I would not be able to upgrade myself at that point.
You would not.
And then as far as the upgrades go, I mean, when we're channeling this essence, obviously you can upgrade the abilities you already have and unlock new ones as well.
Absolutely, there's tons of new ones. I mean, we're also showing a kind of return of a power from Darkness 1 called Black Hole. We've got our own version of that works through our heart eating system, so it's kind of cool.
I like they have a whole system for heart eating.
Why do I feel like none of them were hugged around the office as far as this game?
Because they would impale someone if they ever showed warmth. Right. That's why.
Yeah, it's the heart eating system and then the Darkling peeing system. Those two systems, I mean, they're just awesome, right?
You had me at hello,
That's
sir.
fantastic.
Consider me pre-ordered.
Yeah.
Sheldon, the game looks amazing. Is there a release date yet? Has it been announced?
We're looking at October 5th this year for 360, PS3, and PC.
Love it.
Hey,
thanks a lot, guys.
Sheldon, thank you so much. The Darkness 2, everybody. Right now, we're going to send it over to Adam and Morgan, who are equally dark.
Coming up, we've got a two-part demo on the year's biggest games.
Get ready for the PlayStation 3 exclusive Uncharted 3, Drake's Deception.
You'll see the campaign, the revamped multiplayer, and the real Nathan Drake. We'll have more from E3 2011 right after this.
Parking here at E3 sucks, but luckily Ford has hooked me up with amazing ride and a sweet parking spot right here at the Fiesta Social Club. I mean, they said I can pretty much do whatever I want. Thanks, bro. Blech. I mean, check it out. They've got taxidermy, they're making limited edition posters, taxidermy, a bar. They had a DJ. Yeah. And when I'm done tearing it up here, we're gonna be checking out From Dusk. Stay tuned.
G4's live coverage of E3 2011 is brought to you by the 2011 Ford Fiesta. For more on the road to E3, visit g4tv.com/road to E3.
There are so many new games and gamers here that it is literally a jungle. We're here at the Raiders booth checking out the new PC game, but don't worry, you guys, because G4 is braving the entire floor to show you all of the newest games from the PS3 to the 360 to the 3DS. You are not going to want to miss a second.
All right, welcome back. I think this day was kind of built for you and me.
Yes.
So Uncharted 2 was X-Play's resounding 2009 Game of the Year. So one could assume that we're marginally interested in seeing Part 3.
Nathan Drake's new adventure does not debut until November, but you can get an early glimpse in this hands-on demo.
Joining us today is Naughty Dog creative director and one of the finest people writing in video games today, Amy Hennig. And a man who you may not know by sight, but you know by voice, Nolan North, who plays Nathan Drake in about 80% of all other video game characters. Thank you so much for stopping by. So we saw a little bit of this demo yesterday at the Sony press conference. Let's get some context. Where is this happening in the story? Is it in England?
The cruise ship is in England, or is
I guess not. Well, it could be on the Thames.
That's
the
right.
wide part of the Thames.
Exactly, very wide point. No, it takes place in the Indian Ocean about halfway through the game. I wouldn't want to give away too much because we don't want to spoil things unnecessarily. Oh, no. People are looking forward to the story. But yeah, he's in a desperate situation and things go badly as they always do.
No, I think one of the things that really stands out for a lot of people in this demo is the water.
Yeah.
Can you talk about how that was actually accomplished?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. We had programmers on this from the very beginning to develop a water simulation system, not only the physics of the water, but the visual simulation as well. And I mean, we're absolutely crazy. About Sunday morning, we said, what are we doing? Because this is actually a full physics simulation of a boat on the ocean with the water actually rolling. We didn't fake anything. We should have. We should have. But yes,
we wouldn't have told anybody if
we've
you had.
been working on this. Actually been working on this since before the beginning of Uncharted 1.
And you also see that they're on the cruise ship, like you see the cruise ship itself kind of listing back and forth. I mean, how do you kind of bring that into it?
Well, like I said, the cruise ship is literally tipping with physics, and that's why he's actually reacting in real time to it when he's shifting his weight and getting his sea legs. This is all an actual simulation. None of it is faked.
I mean, it's obviously reminiscent of the demo for Uncharted 2, where the building is slowly coming down, and you can feel it. I mean, is this even a more challenging way to adapt those physics?
Absolutely. I mean, we were scratching the surface in the first game with the collapse of the building and the train level. Actually, the train level was pretty damn hard. Yeah. But the idea that you could actually have gameplay on moving objects And now we're just sort of blowing that out in Uncharted 3 with the cruise shipping. One example, and actually our theatrical demo here on the show floor shows the same thing with a cargo plane that also meets a sort of dire end. Of course,
You should just avoid vehicles altogether.
They're not good luck.
He pretty much breaks everything he touches.
And we've definitely, in the demo and some of the trailers, we've seen some characters return that we've loved, which is always great fan service.
Yes, no, it's always hard when you're working on a sequel to, like, you know, how much is fan service, how much is sort of like, you know, trusting your own instincts, and you got to find a balance, right? But I mean, one of the things I think that we've done so well is to create this cast of characters that is so beloved, and I think the affection for the characters is something that we value so much. It's important for us to bring them back and let fans, you know, go on another adventure with them.
Nolan, I mean, one of the things that was so striking about Uncharted 2 was both the writing and how the acting really delivered in a way that we hadn't seen before in video games. I mean, what was your role and your contribution to really bring that life to Nathan Drake?
Well, I think, you know, everything always starts with, I say this a lot, it starts with a good script. And,
yes.
You know, and Amy is incredibly talented.
Whatever, what I can pull off.
Yeah, but they also, Naughty Dog, Amy in particular, has given me a lot of creative freedom to go on and ad-lib from, you know, where the script is. And when you have a good script, it's like the foundation of a good tree, and you can branch out from there. If you don't have that, you don't really have the flexibility to do that. And she's, for some reason, allowed me to put some of my own personality into it. So.
Now, are there other actors in the room that you're reacting to? Because, I mean, that's one of the things is that you could toss these aside, that I would find to be very challenging if there wasn't someone to respond to it.
Well, most of the motion capture for the cinematics and a lot of the in-game stuff is always done with Richard McGonigal, Sully, or if it's Chloe, if it's Elena, if it's Graham McTavish. I mean, these characters, it's almost as we always compare it to theater, black box theater. There's very minimal sets, usually little boxes and other things like that. It's akin to, you know, young kids playing in the clubhouse, and that clubhouse is a pirate ship that day. We just go out and we play make-believe, and, you know, there's a paycheck at the end of it.
Sounds good to me.
You do? You didn't know that?
What would you say that you've learned from Uncharted 1 and 2 that you're bringing into the third game?
Well, I think that we should trust our instincts because, you know, you're always right out there on the edge, just sort of making your best guess at what's going to play. And, you know, you can't just try to read all the message boards and try to second guess it because then you're going to just create this sort of design by committee thing. And I think what we do both with the actors on the stage as well as us at Naughty Dog is just try to say, well, what game do we want to play? What would be fun? What would tug at our heartstrings emotionally? And we just, you know, just keep. And so the hard thing is when you've had a lot of success, is to keep doing that and to keep hearing that little voice inside.
Well, as with before, I think it's more than evident up there on the screen. I want to say I read the LA Times piece about all the work you went through to get this demo ready, and I would like to encourage a lot of people to check that out. To just tip your hat to your guys' efforts.
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Amy. Thank you so much, Nolan. Absolutely.
All right, guys, stay right there because we will check out Uncharted 3 multiplayer in just a minute.
But first, let's send it over to Kristen Adams, who's giving away prizes like it's her job. Oh, yes, technically it kind of is.
All right, thanks, guys. Welcome back to my corner of the stage. Tweeps, I just want to let you know what's going on over here at the Twitter wall. We've got our most popular E3-related hashtags. E3 is strongly holding the #1 spot, followed closely by 360, PlayStation 3, Nintendo, and Wii. They're kind of all clumped together. All right, I just want to highlight some tweets up here. We got iBach. All my nerd love goes to Uncharted 3. Not gonna lie. I'm glad you're not gonna lie. We only want truth here at the Twitter wall. Thank you for that, iBach. And if you want to end up on our Twitter wall, just use the hashtag E3 on G4. Now let's throw it back over to Kevin and Candace.
Thanks, Kristen.
Thank you.
All right, I think we killed enough computer-controlled enemies on this show. Now it's time to make take some real people down.
All right, let's do it. We're going to go hands-on with Uncharted 3 multiplayer when G4 Live at E3 2011 continues.
G4's live coverage of E3 2011 is brought to you by Kit Kat Bars. Break time, anytime.
Welcome back to G4 Live at E3 2011, the only show that can take you inside the biggest gaming event of the year. If some other show says they're at E3, well, they're little liars.
Yeah, we've actually checked. There's nobody else here. It's just
Nobody
us.
here.
In most online multiplayer games, you just have to worry about not getting shot. That's simple enough. Uncharted 3, it's a different story.
Yes, you can get yanked off ledges, have the ceiling collapse on you, or fall out of a moving plane.
And I'm sure you can drown in 1,000 different ways, but mostly from running out of
creative ways,
oxygen.
yeah.
Joining us is game director Justin Richmond and the voice of Sully, Richard McGonigal.
Yeah!
Welcome to the stage, gents.
Thank you.
Now, I've heard that with Uncharted, the focus was making this the, quote, go-to game for multiplayer on the PS3.
That's right.
Did you make that statement? Who made that?
I believe I have made that statement.
You have made that statement.
Yeah.
All right, so how can we back up that statement, Justin?
I think the idea is for us is we really wanted to make an experience that takes our single-player action and cinematic set pieces, puts that online in a way that no one's ever seen before. So in one of the levels, you're on trucks driving across the runway, trying to get on the cargo plane while you're fighting all the other teams.
On the multiplayer
On the multiplayer.
Wow.
So, I mean, it sounds like it's an attempt to sort of take that kind of narrative fun that's in the combat and single-player game and kind of put that into
That's
multiplayer.
right, exactly. So we want to make sure that, we're trying to blend more of that single-player experience into the multiplayer experience.
Now, this mode here that we're watching, it's Hunter mode?
Hunter mode, that's right. And so this is really cool. Basically, it's 2v2. The heroes are trying to capture treasures. There's a bunch of them all around the map, trying to put them into treasure chests to score points. The hunters actually play as AI, so they're on the AI side. So they spawn in with all kinds of special modes. So basically, every time a hunter earns medals in the game, they get to then pick from a whole list of different types of characters. So you start off with a guy with a pistol, but then as you earn more kills, you can basically get up to a guy with a shotgun and armor and rocket launchers and stuff.
So you basically get to be the boss,
Exactly.
and the AI are sort of your henchmen running around.
Exactly, and then it's round-based, so it switches, so everybody gets to play both sides.
Now, Richard, when you get, by the way, huge fan of your work. It's nice to finally put a face to the voice, good sir. When you get into the booth, is there a long list of multiplayer-specific grunts and groans and death noises that you have to make? Or
Yes.
How do you channel the distinct difference between dying by grenade or dying by 100-foot fall?
Well, it's years of experience.
You've taken many 100-foot falls in your
Yes.
days.
And grenades going off in my face, yeah.
Will your character be playable in multiplayer?
Yes. Absolutely. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
So we got all the characters from the game, Sully, Nolan, all that stuff. So.
I mean, is there some degree of satisfaction sort of seeing your voice being replicated in acts of heroism that no reasonable human being would ever, engage in?
I'm very impressed with myself a lot. With Victor, anyway. He looks better than I do, and he's I don't know. It's amazing what these guys do to make us look good. It's wonderful.
Yes,
amazing.
Someday I need to go talk to them to help me out as well.
we can use a little help.
A question about Hunter mode and maybe some of the other multiplayer modes. What do you have to be mindful of when you're making the levels? I mean, you have all that verticality, but they do play differently than a traditional first-person multiplayer.
Yeah, I mean, the big things are making sure that we have enough places to climb that don't end up being overpowered, right? So, if you can get up on top of a tower and no one can get up there and there's no grenade backboard, well, that's going to be a death zone from wherever that guy is. So we have to be really, really careful. We test every single day inside the company. Everybody plays it on, over and over and over again. Everybody's super opinionated in the office, so that's what we're looking for.
Now, what are the boosters in multiplayer, and how do those work exactly?
So there's a bunch of different ones. Actually, we have two different whole sets of boosters. One for cooperative, which you see in the Hunter mode, and then a whole other set for the competitive. And so it's anything from having a little bit more health or being able to sprint a little bit faster. But in co-op, you get other ones like heal my entire team if they're in a certain radius from me and stuff like that.
And then metal kickbacks. That sounds like I just helped you get work, but I assume that's not how it works in the game.
No, yeah, metal kickbacks. Basically, the more medals you earn for doing cool things inside the game, the more things you can actually buy. And you basically can set one, and basically it's kind of like a booster, but it goes off one time, and you can pick when you've earned enough medals to set that thing off. We have a whole list to sort of pick from depending on your playstyle.
So it's like a nuclear option.
Exactly.
You have to choose that one.
It's not quite that good, but yeah, it's that idea. Yeah.
And what about the new 3-team deathmatch? How does that work?
So basically, 3-team is just what it sounds like. It's 2v2v2, and the thing about that makes it really interesting is there's not just one other team to deal with, and so you'll see like shifting alliances. You'll see one team start to pull away, then the other two teams will not start killing each other. They'll start only killing that team. So it's just this constant back and forth of people going after each other.
After the experience of putting together multiplayer for Uncharted 2, because there was no multiplayer in the first Uncharted, what was sort of like the big lessons you took away from that you're applying here?
I think the thing was we proved to ourselves we could do it, right? And this time it's like, okay, now we can do all the things we never had time for last game. And so just making it bigger and better and really bringing that cinematic feel from the single player experience into the multiplayer experience.
And we know we saw a little bit before the break environmental hazards and how important, what a key role they play on the single player side of things.
Yeah.
You mentioned that we're going to be on a train trying to get to a cargo plane at one point.
Yeah.
I'm assuming the environment is equally as deadly in multiplayer.
Yeah, exactly. You jump off one of those trucks, you're getting run over. But also things like in the chateau, there's a huge, the place burns down, and so it's like collapsing all over the place and can kill you and stuff like that. In this level, there's a plane that flies over, drops bombs on the maps, all kinds of cool stuff like that.
I mean, just the thought of having to balance for all those sort of random environmental occurrences is just kind of awe-inspiring.
Yeah, it's definitely tricky. I mean, the thing is, what we wanted to do is be interesting and not be frustrating, right? So you want to be like, oh man, that was cool, not like, oh man, that sucked. So,
right. Here comes the plane again. Yeah, everybody died.
Exactly. And so we want to make sure it doesn't feel like that.
And real quickly, can you talk about Uncharted TV at all?
Sure. Uncharted TV, basically, what we can do is we can actually stream video into the interface, which is amazing. So when you're in the menus, we're actually going to show clips from great games, from other people's games, so that you can actually see what's going on in the Uncharted universe. Anytime we want to push out messaging, whatever, we're going to do it right there so the fans can know what's going on.
So right in the lobby, you might even learn a new tip or a new way to navigate a level as well.
And also the animations are so gorgeous. It is actually something that's fun and very easy to watch. The beta that was talked about last night. Can you give us any more?
Yeah, so it's June 28th is the early access, and it's going for about 2 weeks. And everybody should download it. Once that second week, it's open to everybody. We think people are going to love it. We've got all kinds of cool stuff planned. When you start playing, that's not going to be the final content. So we're going to add stuff to it as we go along. It'll be really cool.
Awesome.
It was already the go-to game in my PS3, so I hope the multiplayer is as well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for being here.
All right, Richard, thank you so much for coming by.
Pleasure chatting.
Team.
Justin and Richard, nothing but love for Uncharted, and for even more on the multiplayer and to get a glimpse of the brand new story montage of Uncharted, you can check out G4TV.com/Uncharted3.
Electronic Arts is here at E3 with a new take on the Need for Speed series. The run is all about an underground cross-country race from San Francisco to New York. We'll have a demo on our stage tomorrow, but today we've got an exclusive world premiere trailer you won't see anywhere else.
Okay, that looks awesome. Next month, American Ninja Warrior returns, and a huge prize is on the line. A K-Swiss endorsement deal worth $500,000. All someone has to do is defeat Mount Midoriyama. Here's a sneak peek.
As part of my E3 training, I came to Venice Beach to check out the qualifying rounds of American Ninja Warrior. With a $500,000 K-Swiss endorsement deal, the competition is sure to be intense. Let's see how the course stacks up. Hey guys, I'm here with Brent and Evan. You are my unofficial coaches for today. What can you tell me about this course?
Starting right here on the quad steps, right? I would encourage you to stay low, take as many steps as you need, and just be explosive to each one.
We have the hanging log here, and basically you just got to come up, get a good handhold in those slots in there.
Okay.
Push off, wrap your legs around it, and hang on for the ride.
This is the Bridge of Blades. My technique with everything is to stay as close to the axis as possible, because it pivots, and like those blades will come flipping around and knock you off.
This looks intense.
It is. It pretty much is.
Don't miss the return of American Ninja Warrior this July.
I am so impressed that you were brave enough to get on there. Stay right there because you're about to see the re-return of a gaming icon, Master Chief.
We'll have the latest on Microsoft's remake of the Xbox Classic Halo Combat Evolved. All that plus more giveaways. You want free stuff, right? I'll be right back.
G4's live coverage of E3 2011 is brought to you by American Ninja Warrior. This time there's $500,000 on the line. The competition begins in July, only on G4.
I'm here at E3 where they treat me like a queen, as they should. I'm at the Duke Nukem Forever booth, and come check this out. They've even built a man cave where you can come play the game. How cool is that? I know there's tons of more stuff to check out. I can't wait.
Welcome back to G4 Live at E3 2011, presented by Burger King.
Now, after years of rumors and speculation, Microsoft finally confirmed that they were remaking a legendary game.
Spartans, get ready for battle. We've got Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary. Franchise Development Director Frank O'Connor is here to talk to us about the new announcements in the Halo universe made at the Microsoft press conference. Okay, start with Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary. Tell people exactly what they're getting with this game.
It's going to ship as a retail disc. It's going to be $39.99. It ships day and date with the 10th anniversary of Halo, the original game, on November 15th. And it contains a remastered version of the campaign that everyone knows and loves. It also contains 7 multiplayer maps, including a firefight map, and those play in the Reach engine. So the main game, the campaign, plays in the original Halo engine with a cool graphics layer on top of it, and the multiplayer map plays like Reach, but we've got more to talk about.
Obviously, graphics are a very obvious thing that you can see in the updated every game. Have you guys gone back and sort of looked at what was, at the time, revolutionary game mechanics that obviously, you know, with all the advancements that have happened, have those been updated?
So we haven't actually changed the gameplay in campaign even a pixel. I mean, literally, there's a mode in the game where you press the back button and it switches from the new graphics back to the old graphics.
Oh, wow.
It's the same physics, it's exactly the same gameplay, and you can test it yourself.
So if I memorize the library, I'm going to do just fine this time.
We have used the graphics to make some changes to make some levels a little bit more navigable and a little bit more understandable. So the library, you'll probably have a slightly easier time pounding through.
I'm just going to take my shotgun. That's all I know I need to do.
And so now you mentioned it includes actually brand new online multiplayer with over Xbox Live with these new 7 multiplayer maps.
Yeah, I have to be careful how I even talk about this. We knew that was going to be a fairly controversial decision to drop the Halo MP, and we get it. Like, it wasn't one or the other, and we made a right choice. It was just the best thing to do for the whole project. You know, there's schedules and timing and budget and manpower involved, and we decided to go with Reach so that we didn't split up the existing Reach multiplayer base, and so that people could enjoy some of the new features. We are going to be doing stuff with matchmaking and a few things we can talk about today to make that classic experience much more reminiscent of the original.
Speaking of things I imagine you can't talk much about, Halo 4.
Yes.
It's also coming from 343 Industries.
It is.
What can you say? Obviously, the trailer just kind of said Master Chief's back, Cortana. Anything more that you can kind of give us about the context of the game?
Just that there's a bunch of people back in the office, and you asked me earlier how many, but let's say at least dozens and possibly hundreds of people working on this game, and they've been working on it for 2 years, very, very hard, and they're doing some really amazing things that we're all very proud of and excited about.
Master Chief have a jetpack?
He definitely had some kind of thruster ability in that trailer, didn't he?
I mean, they gave it to the rest of the Spartans, you know, in Reach, so it only seems equitable. Frank, I was going to ask you, I want to say I've known this man for a very long time, back when he was a colleague of mine. You used to work at Bungie, you went over to 343 Industries. Obviously, you've taken on probably one of the most sacrosanct, you know, franchises in gaming history. What are you guys bringing to the table to respect the legacy, but also kind of keep the series fresh?
I think you said it best. You've got to respect the legacy. The core of Halo is still somewhat magical. The gameplay and Anniversary proves that without a shadow of a doubt. You asked me if we'd add any new features. it didn't need any. It feels like it was made yesterday. It feels like a modern shooter. So we're respecting that. You shouldn't expect a third-person Halo or all-flying Halo. But, you know, just like any of the games that Bungie made, there were also new people coming on board with new ideas and new technologies and new innovations, and we're going to try our best to continue that legacy while respecting it.
And you hear a lot about how this is the start of a new trilogy. I mean, is that something that's true, or is that something that kind of got made up in the press somewhere?
That's completely true. Don actually needed a way to introduce it without saying Halo, so there was a nice surprise, unless you read the internet that morning. And we decided just put that out there. We're working on a trilogy. We have a story mapped out for a trilogy. We have ideas mapped out for how that trilogy will evolve, so we're very committed to it.
And also release dates. I think one specific and one's a little on the vague side.
Yeah, I mean, November 15th was really exciting. We had to fight for that. You know, it was really complicated to get the retail space and the planning and marketing, but we wanted it to really celebrate the 10th
that's our anniversary.
Yep.
Yes. And then sometime next year?
I think it's at holiday.
Yeah.
Fiscal winter 2000. Yeah.
I was wondering which holiday.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna. What happens in reality is that we're working towards a specific schedule, so we know roughly when we're going to be done with the game, and the rest of it is what's the best time to put it into the market and build up to that.
All right, well, obviously we're going to be talking about this probably at E3, so many other things to come. Frank O'Connor, round of applause. Thank you so much for coming by.
Now let's send it over to Kristen Adams. Thanks, guys. All right, let me give you the update on the Twitter wall over here. Since you and I last spoke, we crossed the 3.8 million mark on our tweet counter. Very exciting. And I'm saying by the end of the show, we're reaching 4 million. But you got to step up our tweets per minute, people. We were at 1,000 at the top of the show. You're slacking. Wake up. Tweet some more. All right, I want to highlight a couple of things over here. I'm going to go with JMall777. I don't know if it's Jmal or Jamal, so sorry if I just cramped your style with that. But he's saying, Adam and Morgan, what are your favorite games or things so far?
This chair is fantastic. No, I think that you and I are actually going to agree on this situation. I think that we're both probably going to say Skyrim.
I mean, I've been seeing a lot of it, but we got to see something I've never seen before at the end with those dragons. I mean, the animations on the dragons is so malevolent and cool. I
love them, and the fact that that's running on an Xbox 360, the fact that there's 150 dungeons, there's hundreds of hours of gameplay, I'm sold.
Yeah, I gotta say, I mean, also, Uncharted 3 is right behind it. I mean, just having Amy there reminding myself just how wonderful the writing in that world is. So, I think for both of us, it's the two. Yeah. There you go, Kristen.
You guys are starting to share a brain. You have the same opinion. I like that.
I know. Something will merge. It'll be like Dead Ringers. Something bad will happen.
Well, Jamal777 for that tweet. You have just won a Nintendo 3DS. Congratulations to you. For complete rules, just go to g4tv.com/win. Right now, let's go back to Kevin and Candace.
Yay! After the break, we finally answer the age-old question, what's it like to be a G4 booth babe?
We'll have a behind-the-scenes look right after this.
Spoiler, they see my tattoo. What? They don't.
No, you wish
For gaming.
they did.
For gaming.
You wish.
For gaming.
G4's live coverage of E3 2011 is brought to you by Burger King, home of the Whopper.
Hey y'all, welcome back. E3 is all about the big announcements, the kinds that cause websites to crash and neckbeards to cry. And no announcement is bigger than new hardware. This morning, Reggie Fils-Aimé announced Wii U, and here's everything we know so far.
I was just wandering around E3 and happened upon this little mom and pop booth called Nintendo. What is the big news today, Morgan?
Well, the big news is that we're here at E3 showing off our new console and our new controller. We're really excited because this new console and new controller allow us to give gaming experience that we think are going to give people of all abilities, any type of experience people want. We're going to be able to offer that. You know, we have a new controller that features a touch screen. It has motion controls. It has a full suite of traditional game controls with dual circle pad, analog circle pads. It's got dual shoulder buttons, 2 on each side.
Now, Nintendo is famed for its ingenuity. What is so unique about this new console?
Well, like I started saying it before, is it has things for advanced gamers, people who are avid gamers who want those in-depth core experiences. It has stuff for people that might, not even want to press a button. They just want to use the motion control to control a game. And you're combining those experiences for in-depth multiplayer experiences, single-player experiences. We just think that we really can, again, give you what you want.
Nintendo, the legendary company that still dares to dream, is proven to those naysayers that whether it's a Wii or Wii U, they are always leading the way. Now, I'm gonna go play.
All right, this morning the gaming world had its attention towards Nintendo's press event. Those things happen when you promise to reveal new hardware. But what was the Wii U worth? Was it worth all of the hype? We're gonna find out in G4TV.com's feedback. Joining me are G4TV.com's editorial director, Eric Eckstein, who thought he was free, but then I got him back here. And joining us for the first time today, Kevin Kelly. All right, good to see you. So while I've been here working hard looking at dragons, you guys actually got to hold the Wii U, whatever it is.
Wii U, yeah. Wii U.
Before we find out how it works, how heavy is it? How big is it? I don't think people can really.
It feels lighter than an iPad. It actually handles really well. I found myself being able to use the shoulder triggers and the analog sticks.
It is thicker, but it is light. Although our units were tethered, I'm not sure if it had a battery pack in it or not. May add weight in the final unit, but light.
And it was the screen. What was the resolution of the screen like compared to what we expect in a tablet?
It is HD. I don't know the actual line specifications, but it is HD.
Okay, now let's get to the heart of this. I'm not just speaking for me. What is it like? What the hell is it?
It is weird. I'll say that. It's disorienting. I was able to try the Battle Me demo, and you're controlling altitude with one stick, moving around with the other, and you're moving this thing around like this to try to look down, look up, and shoot. I mean, it's complicated for something that's supposed to be so casual, I gotta say.
All of the games that use the tilt control, we played something called Shield Bash, where you're physically doing this or doing this or that. Those were a little strange. When we saw the HD experience, which is what they're calling it, which showed Zelda on the screen and an inventory system in your hand, that was a little more intuitive and cool.
See, okay, now this is what I'm thinking about, is that, like the Wii, there's a really interesting piece of tech here. But what happened with the Wii is, no one thought that if you have subtle uses of it to just enhance a traditional game experience, how good that would be. That's what we saw with Kinect earlier, like yesterday. I mean, I worry that it's going to be bashing things and not like, hey, my inventory's down here, or all my football plays
It's a very expensive controller to flail around and lose out of your hands, like unlike the Wii remote. But it works. It works well. There's a lot of interesting innovation with there. So, I mean, I think we're going to see some amazing stuff in a year.
Once we see real games, we're just seeing tech demos right now.
So we can only talk about potentialities, but obviously what I wanted, and I once again think you guys felt this too, that we wanted something that felt like it could be hardcore, the way that the Wii just couldn't with its limited interface. Do you see that potential here?
The idea that I can use this as a motion tracker in Aliens, Colonial Marines, that's amazing. Darksiders 2,
Metro Last Light, Batman Arkham City.
Twins. That was pretty impressive.
They rolled out a big lineup of hardcore titles, but until we see those, I don't know what they're going to be like on the Wii U.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, for me, if the Wii didn't exist and I saw this, I'd be laying on my back going, I love you, Wii 2, I'm going to have babies. But we know what happened with innovative tech one time around with Nintendo. I think that's why all of us are a little apprehensive and a little resistant.
I want to know how much it's going to cost.
Yeah.
Tell me that now.
Nintendo does like cheap things. I think it depends on how much the 3DS is going to be by the time that happens. All right, thank you again, Eric. Thank you again, Kelly. All right, now, coming up later, we're going to talk about the new breed of RPGs dominating the show. But first, let's send it over to Candace and Snazzy Kevin.
Oh, thank you, sir. Now, earlier in the show, we crowned VFam, G4's official booth babe for 2011. That is an honor and a responsibility not to be taken lightly, Candace.
This is true, Kevin.
I gotta go jazzercise. I'll be right back, guys.
Our winner needed to learn the ropes, and who better to teach her than Miss Sarah Underwood?
I'm here with VFam, our Booth Babe contest winner. Doesn't she look smoking hot? And it is her very first time here at E3. Okay, we're getting ready to go turn some heads because we're gonna go on the floor and check out the other hot Booth Babes here at E3. We have security, right? Whatever. This is V's first time at E3, first time being a booth babe. Do you guys have any tips for her?
Well, you have the number one thing, which is a rockin' outfit. You have to be confident in your outfit, look and fly, which you have down. So I think you're gonna be a natural.
Gorgeous. You're gonna be just fine. Just smile and stand there, you're gonna be fine.
I've never been to E3. I'm so excited, but do you have any tips to make it even more awesome?
I do. I think every booth babe needs to know the perfect stance. So might I recommend to you something that I call the Space Invader? It's when you turn around, bend over, and grab your ankles.
Is it possible for some of these guys and some of these gamers to actually get a girl like you?
I 100% believe that's true. I met my ex at the Linux Expo, and I met my current boyfriend at the Lingerie Expo, but that's another story.
Thanks, V. Awesome work. See, contrary to popular belief, we like a booth babe with brains, but a body like that, it doesn't hurt.
Without a doubt, E3 is the craziest time of the year for G4, and it doesn't matter whether you're in front of the camera or behind it.
For a behind-the-scenes look at what it takes to put on a show like this, check out the Road to E3 presented by the 2011 Ford Fiesta. See exclusive interviews and more at G4TV.com/Road to E3.
Do you guys want more demos? Well, you got them after the break. Throwing stars, sword fights, and archery.
We'll go hands-on with the PlayStation Move game, Medieval Moves, Deadman's Quest, all that and more right after this. I'm really excited for that game.
G4's live coverage of E3 2011 is brought to you by the 2011 Ford Fiesta. Drive one.
Welcome back to G4 Live at E3 2011. We are the exclusive broadcast partner of E3, which means you won't see covers like this anywhere else.
In the next hour, we've got a hands-on demo of Assassin's Creed Revelations, which lets you play as Desmond, who relives the memories of Ezio, who relives the memories of Altair. It's like Inception.
Plus, two titles that couldn't be more different. The brutally difficult and totally creepy Dark Souls, and Harmonix's follow-up to their smash hit Connect game. Of course, I'm talking about Dance Central 2. Prediction, Candace will be jumping around the stage, and I will go like this.
And I won't be. But first, let's send it over to Kevin.
I think that's the fundamental difference between the Turkish and the Arabian goggles, but, you know, we'll get to that later. Hey, thank you, guys. Yesterday, Sony announced Medieval Moves Deadman's Quest. It's a new game that takes full advantage of the PlayStation Move precise motion controls. And guess what? We got a hands-on demo right now. Here to walk me through the game is Jeremy Ray. He's the producer at Sony. At all of Sony, huh? That's quite a title.
Sony San Diego, to be specific.
There we go. Okay, good. And you got quite a team working on Medieval Moves here.
Yes.
So, who is Deadman? What is his quest?
So the story of the game is you play a young prince, and in the game, your kingdom has been taken over by an evil sorcerer named Morgrim, of course, and it's your job to save the day and return the kingdom back to the way it was before Morgrim started messing things up.
All right, so expel the evil. So what are we seeing here exactly? What's
just jumping right into the game, kind of the three main combat mechanics of Medieval Moves is sword and shield. So right now I've got my shield, and I'm holding down the move button to control my shield with one controller. When I release the move button, I can swing my sword. As you can see, it follows my movements precisely, and that allows me to use my sword and shield. I also have my throwing stars, holding down the T button and doing a throwing motion, releasing the T button. I can throw throwing stars. I can also throw them very quickly, like so.
There we go.
And
that's
then,
old school shinobi action there. Nice.
Right. And then I can also use a bow and arrow by reaching behind my head like I'm grabbing an arrow from a quiver. Keeping that T button held down, aiming at the enemy, step out of cover there.
Get him.
And I got him.
Excellent. That's nice. And I noticed no menus, no switching. It's all happening right with the actual motion itself and buttons on the move control.
Correct. That's one of the important parts of the game is this idea of a seamless weapon interaction, so that you can switch between weapons without having to deal with a cumbersome inventory screen.
Did you just Yahtzee some shurikens at him? Like, hey, you take this in the face, right, skeleton. Exactly. I love that. Good attitude. So now what is this here? What's the twist mechanic?
Right, so this is a lock-picking scenario where you have to unlock the 3 tumblers here, and I do that by twisting the motion controller here until I get everything lined up and go through. There's a lot of little elements like that throughout the game to break up the combat, so you're not just doing non-stop action all the time.
Now, I notice obviously you have one glowing wand in your hand. The game does support wands akimbo though, correct?
Correct. So you can, for those of you that have played Sports Champions, you might remember from Gladiator Duel, we have a sword in one hand and a shield in the other. You can do the same thing in this game, and a bow and arrow with the 2 hands. And throwing stars is kind of cool because you can throw with each hand and really let them loose. Kind of
love it. All right, so is this a traditional like kind of dungeon crawl that we're going through here, or where exactly are we?
So this particular level, we call it the tower level. You're inside this castle tower, but there's all kinds of different levels that are going to be throughout the game. Outdoor levels, indoor levels like this. There's some mine levels, and we can't reveal all the levels just yet, but just rest assured there's going to be a lot of different variety of levels.
And I noticed lots of breakables as well. Are those optional? Or are you going to find like items or power-ups, or
both? Yeah, so they're optional, and you can find cool items and power-ups. Sometimes it's merely points if you want to get a better leaderboard score. Sometimes you can get extra milk, which by the way I can show this to you for now. If you're low on health and you hold down the milk button and you do a drinking motion, you'll drink your milk and you'll replenish your health.
Of course. And then can you wipe the stash off after, or just let it ride?
Well, he's skeleton, you need the milk.
That's true. It's good for his bones.
Right.
And I noticed you trying to collapse the door there as well, so the environments are going to be interactive in the game as well.
Right. So like I can shoot these barrels and the barrels will break. So we want to make sure we have like destructibles. There's always cool stuff going on. I think for those of you that saw the press conference yesterday, I took the upward path.
Yeah.
I think for you guys,
let's mix it up a little bit. What do we got?
We'll try the other path this time. Go into the secret area here, and we'll go outside.
And that was the grappling hook there, right? That's how you actually make your way and choose your path that you're going to take through a level.
Right. So again, that whole seamless weapon interaction. I just do the move, and it just works, and I don't have to deal with any sort of inventory management.
Now,
in that case.
One player here, but you guys are going to have co-op and multiplayer modes as well?
Correct. So there's going to be online and offline multiplayer, and there's going to be competitive and cooperative play.
There's going to be a lot of bloody noses as people are flailing around. How many disclaimers load up at the beginning of Medieval Moves? To not hit pets or break IKEA furniture or shatter vases?
That sounds like a Sony legal question. I'll allow them to handle that one.
This is gorgeous. I love that we're getting a peek outside now. This is incredible here.
This is one of the enemies that wasn't shown in the press conference yesterday. It's the chopper enemy, and he's really letting me have it right now. But I'll see if I can take him out.
Take him out with that bow and arrow.
On. I got him once. Oh, there we go.
Boom. Beautiful. When can we actually get our hands on Medieval Moves?
This fall.
This fall.
This will be available this fall.
I love it, man. Thanks you so much for the demo. Thanks for taking us on a new path as well.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, Jeremy. And that's Jeremy Ray. That's Medieval Moves. But right now, we're sending it over to Miss Morgan Webb.
If you're looking for a game that's 100% eye candy, look no further than Bastion. This anime-styled action RPG is coming to PCs and Xbox Live Arcade, and Chris Gore has got a closer look.
RPG fans rejoice. The Supergiant booth is featuring the game Bastion, where you'll take on a bunch of evil gas fellas. Let's dive in for some delightful digital debauchery. First of all, I gotta know, tell me about the story.
Sure. In this game, it starts off with a lot of mystery. You wake up to discover that this surreal catastrophe has ripped your world to pieces. So you head for this location called the Bastion, where your people were supposed to go in case anything went wrong.
Tell me about the unique features.
Yeah, one of the biggest things is our use of narration. It's all about this narrator commenting on everything you do, unraveling the backstory all the way through the game. And we find that people get really attached to what's going on, get the feeling that there's something kind of big happening here.
So tell me when Bastion is coming out.
Bastion's coming to Xbox 360 July 20th, and then it's coming to PC later this year as well.
If you're going to wreak havoc on a quest, there's nothing like getting loaded and taking out a few gassy degenerates along the way.
It's time for more tweets and another giveaway. I just want to talk about the James KZ right here. He says, in case of an emergency, I've hooked up a TV in my bathroom for this week only. That is awesome and sad at the same time. How much time are you spending in the bathroom exactly? I want to know this. But just for that tweet, you have just won an Xbox 360 and a year-long membership to Gamefly. So now your bathroom is going to be pimped. We have more Twitter giveaways coming up, so remember to use the hashtag E3 on G4. For complete rules, just go to g4tv.com/win. Back over to Candace and Morgan for more E3 fun.
I'm a little bit jealous. Are we allowed to win one of those?
We are not. We cannot have Xboxes in our bathrooms, apparently.
No.
All right, guys, don't change that channel. If you do, you might miss one of the greatest things ever. Candace is going to go hands-on with Dance Central 2.
Woo!
Yes!
We'll see how that is. And I won't even need to get drunk first.
All that, plus we've got more prizes to give away, so keep tweeting with the hashtag E3 on G4. We'll be right back. That's right, warm it up, girl.
It's cool that the guys from Forza Motorsport brought this little Ferrari here today. You might recognize this from the game, but screw driving this Ferrari in the game. I know how I'm getting home from work today. Who's got the keys? The keys? Anybody?
G4's live coverage of E3 2011 is brought to you by GameFly, video game rentals delivered to your door.
If you oppose his shield, you had better yield. I'm here at the Sega booth checking out the Captain America Super Soldier game. But not only is the game here, a costume from the upcoming Captain America movie, and I gotta say, I think Chris Evans fills out this Captain America costume a lot better than I do. Though I think I could use that belt to carry supplies, but I'll need to check out all the games here on the floor.
Oh, that's the game I want to play. Welcome back. When new hardware launches, you expect third-party developers to actually release the worst games for the sake of the quick buck, just to get in there at the launch window. And that's how it is.
But not Harmonix. Dance Central was easily the best Connect launch title, and they've just announced a sequel. Let's go hands-on, or off, I guess.
Hands-off, yeah.
Hands-off.
Joining us today, Casson Crooker, Project Director at Harmonix. Casson, soak it up, because I'm going to beam direct hatred at you for being involved with the franchise that has taken over my living room and made everybody hate me at parties when I refuse to get up and dance. You have replaced Rock Band as the party game / 2 a.m. drunk game at Casa de Pereira, so thank you for that.
And having made Rock Band, I'm a little torn between those two
It's
things,
a love-hate thing with yourself.
love-hate.
So, first of all, I don't actually know how to Dougie. Will this game teach me?
It will attempt to help you learn a lot of moves.
Good.
Including that, you got to learn all the moves.
You know you want to go out there and learn them, Kevin.
Yes, as long as there's nobody else around to watch. Yes, I do.
I'm gonna set up a little video camera.
Dance Central really was, for me, the system seller. Right? It was the reason to have a Connect. I think it makes the best use of the actual motion detection and limb detection of the system. What's new in Dance Central 2 that's going to make everybody go out and buy that one as well?
Yeah, the big thing is, people love to dance together.
Right.
Dance Central 1 was all about one person dancing. People could dance around you, but now 2 people get up, dance, learn the dances together. You can choose different difficulties, drop in, drop out.
Oh, really?
It's all about dancing together.
And you actually have voice control, right?
Yeah, that was actually super fun to add. So you can choose a song, choose a difficulty, choose a mode in the game. You don't even need to navigate the shell. And in our Break It Down mode, you can go through that using voice control also.
So I can just scream Yeezy at my television and maybe Kanye will pop up?
Pretty much.
Love it.
Now also, when somebody's dancing, I can just jump in and raise my hand and it'll see me and let me start dancing.
Connect sees you right away. You can just jump in, start dancing, or you can choose which difficulty you want to be on.
Did you guys manage to include a white bread mode? Something for guys like myself that actually don't have independent control of their limbs at all?
No, it's not an actual mode in the game, but our goal is to teach you how to dance, so you got to be prepared.
Can it teach those with even less rhythm than myself to dance, perhaps? I don't know if you notice I'm gesturing wildly towards Candace Bailey.
I have the best rhythm, Kevin.
Why don't you show it off? They can do 2 people, right? She can just hop
Maybe
right in.
I will.
She should definitely
No,
show
you
it.
should go do it. Yeah, hop right over there. So who's that?
And I'm in a dress.
You got it. Oh, she's already throwing out excuses.
Yeah.
I have a dress. Yeah.
Oh.
So she's going to go over there and dance with, that's Carlos. That's one of your...
Marcos,
Marcos, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
He's one of your in-house choreographers?
Yeah. He was been with us since Dance Central 1 and comes up with a ton of the routines in the game.
Oh, where? Here?
Has it disqualified her yet? How do we... She can play on easy, though, like you said, and he can play on his own mode.
Yep.
And now the first Dance Central had music, of course, from Lady Gaga, No Doubt, the Beastie Boys. You have some DLC in there as well. Has the full track list been announced for Dance Central 2?
It hasn't, but we have a ton of great songs. We have over 40 songs in the game. My girl Nicki Minaj just tweeted about Massive Attack this morning.
Awesome.
LaRue, Bulletproof, Rihanna's Rude Boy. And should I talk about the exclusive DLC? Right now, exclusive to G4?
Yes, you should. What is it? Is it Stay One DLC or is this?
This is coming out in July.
Okay, what do we got?
June is actually a huge sale month, but in July, I'm proud to announce we have Teo Cruz's Break Your Heart. We have Trey Songz Say
I don't think we can afford you to sing the rest of that, but thank you.
We'll stop there. And Planet Rock by Africa Bambaataa. So we're going old school.
That is awesome,
Look at the combination of songs.
And each one, of course, DLC, full support for all difficulty levels. Each has unique dances and choreography as well.
Yeah, and the cool thing is that in Dance Central 2, all of those songs will work. and all of the songs from Dance Central 1 could be imported into the game.
Very nice. Only
Over
need for
100
one disc.
songs.
I don't know if you can see Candace there. She's rocking a little side step and clap.
Yeah, she's doing great.
And now the character actually kind of looks like Candace. How far have you taken the character creation in Dance Central 2?
A lot. We brought back some of our favorite characters from Dance Central 1, but we brought in a whole new range of characters. It was super fun to you know, sort of like bring in some new people to dance.
Now, every move Candace does, it looks like it's just the seizure.
Shut up!
Well,
I
didn't know she could hear me.
She's doing great.
You're doing fantastic, Candace. Now, what about freestyling? Is always like my favorite portion because inevitably it grabs a shot of the dog running through the living room, someone laughing in the background. Have you guys changed freestyle at all?
Yeah, we really it actually worked so well. We just gave it a sort of a new coat of paint, some polish, and new cosmetics, and it's still super fun to sort of bust your own moves.
Can we have like the at-home rave visualizer mode so we can just dance and have the streaks coming off of us? Because
get the glow sticks out.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Is there a release date for Dance Central?
The actual release date isn't announced, but it's late fall of this year.
Late fall, awesome. And any chance to share those embarrassing photos and freestyle stuff?
Oh, you never know. There might be.
I hope so. I hope to plaster my wall with lots of drunken memories. Absolute pleasure chatting with you.
Thank you.
It's the reason to own a Connect. So thank you so much, Casson. Appreciate it. And thanks to Candace for seizing on live television.
I hate you, Kevin!
All right, let's send it over to Matt Blair.
Would have been cooler if she kept the heels on. That's just me. Now listen, E3 isn't the only major event G4 is covering this summer. No, my friend, we're covering the big one.
Bust it out.
This July, we're hitting the San Diego Comic-Con. We're going to have 3 days of live coverage straight from the floor, including a live attack of the show and a live 1-hour X-Play, taking you inside the convention's hottest games. And if you can't make it there in person, we have got you covered because we love you in the sexiest possible way. Just go to g4tv.com/Comic-Con for more info and stay right there because we've got one of the year's biggest games on the way. That's right, the saga of Ezio Auditore. I'll never do that again. Comes to a dramatic close in Assassin's Creed Revelations, and we're going to go hands-on right after this.
To G4 live at E3 2011.
We've covered a ton of games so far today, but honestly, I think there's been a glaring lack of stabbing to the face,
so
neck,
excited
and stomach.
because we have a demo of Assassin's Creed Revelations.
And joining us to walk us through Ezio's next adventure is Ubisoft Creative Director Alex Amancio, everybody.
Welcome. I got so excited I kind of destroyed my card a little bit. Okay, so Assassin's Creed, it's obviously a lot of it is about the story and how people connect with the story. So where does it take place in the timeline?
It takes place after the events of Brotherhood. It's essentially set in Constantinople. So, in AC2, you saw, Ezio sort of born into the world of the Assassins. Brotherhood, he sort of takes up the flame of the Assassins in Rome, creates his own Brotherhood, and then he sort of like leads them against Cesare Borgia. In this game, he's sort of in an inner quest, searching for the forgotten knowledge left behind by Altair. So he travels to Masyaf, where he finds it overrun by Templars. This leads him to Constantinople in this race against time to find these 5 keys that will open up the sort of library at Masyaf.
And how does the actual layout of Constantinople differ from like Rome or Jerusalem?
It's actually a very different city. We chose it for 2 reasons. First of all, it was the hub of the world at that era. It was sort of the New York of the era. Super varied, a lot of different peoples, architecture. The layout is actually very different. It's set up in slopes. 85% of the city is actually sloped, which allows us to do really cool stuff like zip lining with the new hook blade.
Right.
The city also is very big. It's actually, in terms of buildings, it's bigger than Rome.
So Rome was just more spread out. This has actually like more.
It's denser. It's like a maze-like city. People love to get just lost in this city.
Is the city hand designed, or is it one of those things where you just say, okay, we're going to paint a large section here on the texture and say buildings are there, or do the developers actually go in and place each building? And
everything is placed by hand. Like we actually traveled twice to Constantinople to really get it right. We pride ourselves in being extremely historically accurate.
And so now you have like a hook blade. You have a couple new weapons.
Yeah, the hook blade is one of the weapons that you see. What you just saw there was one of the bombs, but the hook blade really bridges like two of our major pillars, movement and combat. It makes you like about 25 to 30% faster, plus it makes you deadlier than ever in combat. What you just saw here is sort of him vaulting over an enemy using the hook blade to sort of vault himself over. This is an improved of the Eagle Vision. It's called the Eagle Sense. It allows you, amongst many other things, to actually see through the thick smoke provided by this new smoke bomb.
Oh, man. Yeah, a little backstab there. Very nice.
He's not going to be okay.
No, when the smoke clears, he'll be dead. And there he is. Besides the storyline quests, obviously there's a ton of side missions. Assassins is known for that.
Yeah.
Have those been revamped at all? Or?
Yes, they have. We used to have what we called crowd missions. You have a highlighted character in the world, you go there, you interact with that character, he gives you a mission. We really wanted to make the city more immersive and more sort of organic, so we have now city events. City events are, you might be on your way to a mission, and somebody, a crowd person, just might run up to you and ask you for help, like right now, something is happening right there.
Then you stab them in the face and say, "Nuh-uh, honey, I'm on my way to
I'm
buy a building."
really busy right now.
Yeah.
I'm tracking down some of Altair's secrets.
Exactly.
What I like about this demo definitely too is we're about to see this like kind of chain flamethrower gun.
Yeah, cranking.
I love these modern old weapons.
Yeah, what you're seeing there, like that was just like him using Ezio using the hook blade to zipline. And you can see here in the combat, like the hook blade really allows him some nasty new moves, like what you just saw there. It just makes him deadlier than ever.
And the hook blade actually is what gives him the 25% movement bonus.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Using that blade.
Exactly.
Okay.
What you're seeing there, like you just saw one of the assassins, the local assassins of Constantinople run by, they can just come in and help you. Ezio is not the only sort of master assassin in this city. There's also Yusuf, who is an important ally, and he really helps you along, so he can send his assassins over to help you at any time also.
And are we going to see some of the same sort of like real estate mechanics that we saw in Brotherhood?
Yes, you will. You'll have an upgraded version of that.
Okay, and then we'll also be able to hire and sort of train assassins, or is that something that's going to be
No, you will.
behind?
And we have a new system that we haven't sort of talked about it too much yet. It's called the Assassin's Dens. This sort of builds upon stuff that existed in Brotherhood, but really adds a lot of new gameplay elements.
Alex, you said you guys pride yourself on your historical accuracy. Maybe I fell asleep in history class on the day they talked about the hand-cranked flamethrower.
That is called Greek fire. It was used to defend the port of Constantinople for like hundreds of years. Constantinople was sort of surrounded by Ottomans for a very long time, and this was one of the advantages they had, this technology. It was this, like heated oil that was shot out, and like basically it was classic napalm.
Greek napalm.
That's awesome. All right, when are we going to be able to start jumping back into hay bales?
Oh, you will be able to do that.
Well, do we know when? Do we have a date?
Do you have a date?
November 15th.
November 15th.
Yeah.
Thank you so
many good
much
games
for
coming
coming
out.
by.
Thank you.
Very
Alex, thank you.
excited.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, now we're actually going to check with Kristen, who's over at our Twitter wall. Kristen?
Well, actually, Kev, I got to start off with a question for you.
What? For me?
I know. Everybody on our Twitter wall has questions for Kevin. You're the most popular. Are you ready? Okay. Roman 8K, he wants to know which hardware or game is the first one you're going to buy when they're available.
Oh, wow. I mean, that's tough. I mean, we still haven't seen a lot of them. The NGP looks really interesting, but I know Morgan had the point as well. Like, I don't know if people really want to carry around another device. We've already got our phones and potentially a tablet.
It does seem really cool, though. It has a lot of awesome features.
Certainly seems cool.
I mean, it's going to come down to the games in the end.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, all eyes right now are on Nintendo. I think I'm waiting to see more about the Wii U. I mean, their press conference was amazing, but it raised 1,001 questions. Yes. So I'm actually like in a wait mode. I'm putting my life on pause. I'm going to save up, spend some money on illicit things, and then maybe when the questions are answered about the Wii U, I'll hop in on that.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks. We'll check back in with you guys later to see how the opinions are shaping up. But if you want to be part of the show and end up on our Twitter wall, just use the hashtag E3OnG4. Right now, let's go over to Candace.
Yesterday, E3 kicked off with 2 new Halo games, a whole lot of Connect, some Battlefield, and a new multi-platform title from Insomniac. Now here's what went down at EA and Microsoft's press events.
Microsoft kicked off their E3 press conference with a big bang as Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 took a huge bite out of the Big Apple. Lara Croft is getting the reboot treatment in a brand new Tomb Raider game that tells her origin story. Microsoft also revealed how Ghost Recon Future Soldier lets you build bigger and better guns.
Optimized for close combat.
Cliffy B and Ice-T demoed Gears of War 3 co-op. And the rapper revealed that his hybrid music group Body Count is reuniting to release a new song for the game.
BC's gonna do a song for you.
Kinect Star Wars used extensive motion controls and looks like it's aimed at casual gamers. And finally, when you thought it was out of reach, Microsoft closed the show with a first look at Halo 4.
At EA, we do it a little different.
Then it was time for EA to bring their A game to E3 with an up-close and personal look at Mass Effect 3. The adrenaline-charged SSX trailer took us over the edge and into Avalanche country. We're happy to see the franchise finally coming back. Baseball legend Curt Schilling threw us a curveball with some open-world awesomeness in Kingdoms of Amalur: Reckoning. And finally, Battlefield 3's tank-based demo illustrates that although war may be hell, it sure looks good. Microsoft and EA brought out the big guns this year, and of course we'll bring you more of the best, the way only G4 can.
Alrighty, starting Thursday, you can watch the best of our E3 2011 coverage whenever you want.
Just look for G4 On Demand on your channel lineup. Go to g4tv.com/VOD for more info.
All right, coming up, we're actually going to demo the game that'll put hair on your chest and make you crap yourself at the exact same time.
I don't think I want either of those things to happen.
Sure you do. You just don't know it yet. We're actually going to go hands-on with Dark Souls right after this.
Is there like option C?
G4's live coverage of E3 2011 is brought to you by Burger King, home of the Whopper.
Simmer down, people. It's going to be okay.
I'm gonna take a nap.
Welcome back to G4 Live at E3 2011. This is by far the biggest event in video games. Everybody is totally here.
Game designers, flunkies, CEOs, horrible PR people, great PR people, and a bunch of so-called journalists.
Of course, we're speaking about ourselves when we say that right there.
Exactly.
You guys remember the time when video games were difficult? Like throwing an NES Advantage through a window difficult?
Okay, now Dark Souls is the spiritual successor to the exceptional Demon Souls, and it's not for the faint of heart. Let's go hands-on.
Everybody, please welcome producer Brian Hong to the stage.
Yes.
Brian, gotta get this out the way right now, okay? This game is considered a successor to Demon Souls. My question to you, is it gonna be too hard for me?
No, it shouldn't be too hard. It should be pretty challenging, though.
Because the game was hard. Demon Souls was hard, my friend.
Yeah, this is a game that is deliberately designed to kick your ass.
We like that kind of game.
Yeah,
like our social lives. It's perfect.
It's honestly, it's not something that we see all that frequently. Now, you use the term successor, which I think you're using in lieu of sequel. How does it relate to the previous one, or does it at all?
Well, Demon Souls was developed by a Japanese developer, From Software. It's the same developer for Dark Souls, and it's the same actual lead designer, Hidetaka Miyazaki.
Okay, and now obviously this is a game that is going to scare the living S out of people. You know what's really scary? Monsters. So what kind of monsters are we fighting in this game?
Well, we're keeping monsters under wraps. You guys have probably seen these really huge bosses so far in a lot of the trailers and some of the demos that we have.
Sure.
The Twisted Minds that are From Software have come up with some really, really interesting looks that you're going to see in the game.
Okay, well, you know we're live, and it would be really good for us if you'd say one of those monsters right now.
Well, let's see if Andrew can show us we have an armor-plated boar, which is our mini-boss, and we've got our wyvern, which is this big mythological red dragon.
Yeah, now, while we're watching this combat, obviously, Demon Souls was just one of those kind of out-of-nowhere awesome games.
Yeah.
It came out a couple of years ago. For those that weren't in the know, what's kind of, it's a fantasy game, obviously, but what's kind of the trick behind Dark Souls?
Well, the whole essence of Dark Souls, it's not a story-driven RPG the way some of these other ones are with similar kind of backgrounds. It's a metaphor for life. If you ask the game designer what they really want people to understand about this game, it's a lot of struggle, it's a lot of pain, it's a lot of controller breaking, but if you could get past these certain levels, the sense of achievement that you get, that gamer euphoria, is like no other you've ever had.
Right. And looking at the other end of the emotional spectrum, the sense of tension in the first game was overwhelming. Obviously, you're going to bring the same thing to the table here. How do you create that in this game?
Well, I think when you look at Demon's Souls and when you play Dark Souls, that's what you really feel is this tension that, oh my gosh, if I die, I'm going all the way back. I'm going to lose an hour of game progress. That's going to happen again. So, yeah.
Yay! And some of this, as you grow your character, that's where some of the challenge was. Is you could go in a direction that would kind of put you at a disadvantage to a large enemy that you didn't know was waiting up ahead.
Definitely.
I mean, is that something you're trying to sort of change it at all?
Yeah, absolutely. The difficulty with this game is not a stupid hard, it's not an unfair hard. If you're really observant and you're watching how you're playing the game and how you're dying, and you look at the character that you have and you have the online multiplayer, all of these different aspects combine to actually teach you how to progress through the game.
Now, the online multiplayer, I want to make sure that we touch on that. That was easily one of the most remarkable thing of all the remarkable stuff.
I would argue one of the most creative uses of online multiplayer ever.
Is it returning? Is it enhanced? What's it going to be like?
Well, I can't reveal too much, obviously.
Why are you here, Brian?
Yes, I'm sorry. Sorry. No, but what we do know is, yes, there are a lot of enhancements. This is where From Software and NBGI and NBGA we really focused our energy. We have an ongoing dialogue with our fans. We're listening to them. We're finding out what they really loved about the online multiplayer the first time around, and we're making a lot of enhancements and new wrinkles that you're really going to have to play the game to find out.
Well, I gotta say, I'm so glad that From Software still exists to remind us what games used to be like, and it is a rare achievement to get to play those. Brian, when can we play Dark Souls?
Dark Souls in North America is coming out on PlayStation 3 and on Xbox 360 for the
which
first
is a big deal.
That's a big deal.
Right. Now, before we move on, why the decision to go with the 360? Obviously, it was a huge hit for the PS3 exclusively the last time around. Why you make the decision to go on the 360 as well?
Well, we know that the 360 in North America is obviously a very important platform.
Sure.
So we wanted to make sure all the fans who did not get to experience Demon's Souls the first time around with Dark Souls will get it, and it is October 4th, 2011.
Very cool, man.
I cannot wait.
Absolutely.
You guys should keep an eye on this one.
Yeah.
It's one
Thank you, Brian.
Brian, thank you so much for coming by. And with that, let's send it over to Kevin.
You know a game is difficult when the guy who gets paid to play it dies 12 times during the demo. I cannot wait to be frustrated by that one. Now, if you love beheadings, political intrigue, and incest, who doesn't? You're probably a big fan of Game of Thrones. George R.R. Martin's popular series has been turned into a PC strategy game, and Jessica Chobot has all the details.
Here at E3, HBO's hit series, A Game of Thrones, has infused intrigue with brute force to spawn a game that gets medieval on your ass. Tell me a little bit about the game.
So it's a real-time strategy game set a few generations before the TV show and the book series, obviously.
So tell me what makes your RTS unique, other than the fact that it's Game of Thrones related.
There are countless RTSs out there that have you sending archers to kill people, rolling over forces. This one is about terrain and tactics. You can win by blunt force. That's fine, but you can also be really sneaky and work your way through the enemy without necessarily building the largest army. It's a game that requires thinking and strategy versus just send unit to kill X target.
When are we going to see it come out? How much is it going to cost? And what's it coming out on?
It's coming out on the PC. It's coming out later in the year. It will be available for definite as a box copy and a digital download. And at the moment, we've not set a full release date and a price.
Keeping it secret, huh?
Yes, must keep it secret. It's a game of intrigue, after all.
Game of Thrones Genesis oozes deception and Machiavellian maneuvers, making it one of the most creative adaptations to hit the market in some time.
If you are a handheld gamer, don't worry, we didn't forget about you. After the break, we'll hit the floor and check out some of the most eye-popping 3DS games on display. We'll be right back.
You guys think gaming's easy? This stuff takes work. So keep watching as I school all the gamers here at E3. Hey!
G4's live coverage of E3 2011 is brought to you by the 2011 Ford Fiesta. For more on the road to E3, visit g4tv.com/road to E3.
Welcome back, everybody. Today, Twitter servers gamers are being brought to their knees thanks to all the talk about E3. Lots of talk in the Twitterverse about Dark Souls. I just want to read a couple. Just John 2X. Dark Souls looks like one hell of a mountain to climb, but I'm up for the challenge. Can't wait. Maddie Madness 90 says Dark Souls looks like a great game. I love games that terrify me. And Nick Robb says, OMG, 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 OMG. Dark Souls looks so good. Love Demon Souls. Can't wait to break my controller once again. So we have console giveaways coming up. Just use the hashtag E3 on G4 for a chance to win. I set a personal goal to break 4 million tweets. We're doing pretty good. We're almost to 3.9 million. And the top 5 related E3 hashtag topics have pretty much stayed the same the entire show. E3, Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, Nintendo, and Wii holding the top 5 spots. So right now, let's go over to Blair and Morgan. The creator of the classic video game Out of This World.
Oh. You're talking, sorry.
Pay attention.
Oh, that was for me.
The creator of the video game Out of This World is at E3 with another unusual creation.
Unusual is definitely one way of describing it. From Dusk is a god game where you manipulate the environment to help villagers and fight off natural disasters. Oh, how nice of him.
Yes.
Andy Allo hit the floor for a closer look.
I'm here with Eric, who's going to tell me a little bit about From Dusk. So this game is part strategy, part playing God. Tell me about it.
From Dusk, it's a god game where the nature is the star. You have to help a tribe to survive in a fast-moving environment. The key thing is that the game is based on a simulation. So everything in the environment, river, volcanoes, is a simulation. It means that you have to help a tribe to reach some point and to create village in some place. And to do so, you have to remove obstacles.
What platforms can we play this game on, and when will it be released?
On XBLA, then PSN, PCs, all digital distribution, and it will be released so this summer.
Do you want a $500,000 endorsement deal from K-Swiss?
Another one?
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
fine.
for me, I want my first. All you have to do is the impossible. Conquer the obstacle course on Mount Midoriyama.
That's right. This July, American Ninja Warrior returns for an all-new season with open tryouts, a brutal boot camp, and then 10 brave souls will take on the biggest challenge of their lives.
American Ninja Warrior returns this July, only on G4. Go to g4tv.com/ANW for more info.
All right, coming up after the break, we're going to go hands-on with the visually stunning El Shaddai Ascension of the Metatron.
Is Metatron a transformer? I mean, a biblical transformer?
No, it's not.
Oh.
We'll be right
Do
back.
they have
everybody.
those?
I'm sure you could find it.
Yeah.
G4's live coverage of E3 2011 is brought to you by Hanes. Look great, feel great in a Hanes undershirt with the lay flat collar.
Chugging along, everybody. Welcome back to G4 live at E3 2011. Of course, we're coming to you from the Los Angeles Convention Center. This is truly the only place you'll find live coverage right on the show floor.
Now, coming up in the next hour, we have got even more hands-on demos, including Twisted Metal for the PlayStation 3 and BioWare's epic RPG Mass Effect 3. Find out what's next for Shepard and the Normandy.
Plus, the return of a classic platformer, Sans Those Rabbids. We're going to go hands-on with Ubisoft's Rayman Origins. But first, why don't we send things over to Adam and Blair?
Let's do that.
Okay.
All right, El Shaddai Ascension of the Metatron is an action game designed by a Capcom veteran that worked on Devil May Cry and Okami.
Still don't know why they named it that. Looking forward to having this conversation. And while the story may use an ancient religious text as a jumping off point, this is definitely no Bible adventures, and I know my Bible adventures. Let's go hands-on.
Joining us for this look at the game is Ignition Director of Business Development and yet another one of my fallen colleagues, Shane Bettenhausen. So good to see you, man.
Give me that, guys. Good to see you. My pleasure. Good to see you. We sucked you back in.
This game is really based on the Book of Enoch from the Old Testament, so I'm both curious how you transformed it into a game and why it was transformed into a game.
Well, okay, at Ignition we felt like a lot of people had taken mythologies from other cultures, be it Greek, Roman, Japanese, Norse, and made a cool character action game out of it. So why should Western mythologies and religions be off limits, you know? So we had the idea to go to the Book of Enoch, which isn't part of the Bible that you and I know. It's called Apocrypha. It's a chapter that got deleted along the way.
Right, it is, and correct me if I'm wrong, it comes from that kind of Old Testament group where things are really bad and things are kind of scary.
Right, and we thought we'd give them this cool story, but we'd give it to a Japanese developer, specifically this guy named Sawaki Takayasu. He was the art director on Okami, he worked on Devil May Cry. He's a real visionary. So we gave him this text and said, take this and adapt it in a really cool, creative new way. Make a game that is accessible but fun. Hardcore guys will like it, casual guys will like it too. And you end up with something really unique. And as you can see, this game looks nothing like a Bible story you would expect.
No, absolutely. I was going to say, man, I've read the Bible cover to cover multiple times, even the deleted stuff. I've never seen motorcycles in the Bible. What are we looking at right now?
Well, and actually, if you've ever seen this game before, this looks totally different than every level we've ever shown.
Yeah, I was about to say.
This is an exclusive for you guys here at G4.
Thank you, Shane. Thank you very much.
So the premise of the game is God creates the earth, sends some of his angels down to watch over it, but those angels kind of get out of control, start falling in love with humanity. Humanity starts worshiping them. You know, things that go really badly. So God is going to send a flood down to destroy the world. But before he can do that, they decide to send a human down to bring the angels back to justice. And that's you. You play as Enoch. He's this human who works in heaven. And in this level, he's in one of these new worlds that's been created by the fallen angels. They inside the Tower of Babel, they build a new universe, basically. And each of them has a unique idea. So this one, the angel is obsessed with the future. So this level is very futuristic, and it's a driving level. But the rest of the game is completely different. There's 3D action parts, 2D action parts. Every level looks totally different.
I've seen some other stuff that uses kind of watercolor graphics similar to what you would find in Okami.
Right, some of the levels look a lot like Okami, and they're very artistic and ethereal, and every stage looks totally unique, and you'll have different gameplay from stage to stage.
So I have to ask, so you're playing Enoch, you're trying to get those angels back. So in a game, you tend to have to fight against something. So are you just fighting against the guys who are worshiping the angels?
Well, so actually when Enoch comes down to Earth, he has no weapons. So you have to take the weapons away from the fallen angels' followers. And that's a really key part of the game, because you can only carry one weapon at a time. And you learn these different weapons, you master them, and it's kind of like a paper, rock, scissors thing, learning which weapon works against, which other weapon.
Way to make it not very easy for Enoch. Look, we're going to need you to go down and kill these angels, but we're not giving you weapons. Right. You're going to figure that out on your own. And let's talk about the inspiration for the look of the game. As you said, we see a lot of Okami in here, and you put it in the hands of a very capable and creative Japanese developer. But again, we are drawing inspiration from things that already have somewhat of a look in people's minds. So how did he kind of create what we're looking at right here?
Well, so I think this level was inspired by a lot of things like anime, like things like Gundam, even games like Final Fantasy VII. Like the guys who made this game, they're a big fan of games. So like you'll see allusions to things like Super Mario Brothers, Final Fantasy, games like Okami.
Zone of the Enders, I would say.
Zone of the Enders here a little bit as well. Like the weapon he's fighting with is a bit like a weapon from Gundam, actually. So yeah, and there's inspirations from all over, because we felt like no one actually saw what these worlds look like. It's all, it's all fantasy in a way. So why not go nuts and just go crazy with the graphics?
Absolutely.
I gotta say, I've been interested in this game. This is definitely one of those rare and wonderful surprises you can have at E3. When can we play this?
So we actually just released, we announced the release date. It's July 26th.
Oh, it's soon.
And what's even better, the demo that we have here at E3, which is a different level than this, it's available today on PSN and XBLA in North America. Wow. So everybody can download it, get their hands on it, really learn what it's about. Because it is a game that you need to really play to fully understand.
All right, before we go, Shane, I feel like there's a lot of stuff going on here, and I know people at home can download it right now and play it right now, but for us that are going to be here for another couple hours, how easy is it to get into this game? Because it looks very difficult.
It's surprisingly easy. When you start the game, you can choose easy mode or normal. Easy is really easy. You want it anybody, like your mom, your little sister, even if you're totally drunk, you can play through the whole game.
Right.
But on normal,
good for you.
Perfect. On normal, it's about Ninja Gaiden hard, in that regular enemies will kill you. You really have to learn how to parry, counterattack, learn the different weapons. So I'd say based on your skill set and your state of mind, choose easy or normal.
I love that state of mind is a qualifier there. Well, you got to be sober.
For you and me.
Well, Shane, awesome. As always, to see you,
July
man.
26th.
July 26th.
El Shaddai. Thank you for bringing over this exclusive look at the game.
Very cool.
Alrighty, folks, coming up, the long-awaited return of one of my favorite PlayStation franchises.
David Jaffe's Twisted Metal is here, and we'll demo the game right after these commercials.
It won't be long. We promise. Just sit there, and we'll come back, and it'll be awesome. I promised I wouldn't fight back. Welcome back to G4 Live at E3 2011, presented by Burger King. This is the moment I've been waiting for, quite frankly. At last year's show, David Jaffe announced the return of Twisted Metal, and we had the game on this very stage, but just like heroin, one hit is not enough, I'm told. We need more. I'll sell you a baby. Let's go hands-on. Joining me for a demo, the man himself, co-director and co-designer, David Jaffe is here. Hello, good sir. Always good to see you.
You too.
Last year, we saw a lot of the multiplayer, but we still don't know the story. We don't know what's happening within the world of Twisted Metal. Did you guys write something? Did you figure it out?
I got
Take some voice memos?
Yeah, exactly. No, listen, so we're actually showing one of our first bosses at E3. I mean, the story, this is the best, most varied Twisted Metal story ever. We've always followed like a fighting game structure, which has been like, you know, here's your character, fight, 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 here's do it again, do it again.
Win the tournament, save the world.
Exactly, and this one is really more, I'm so proud of it because the story it's cohesive, it's one singular story. We learn the history of the competition, we learn the origin of Sweet Tooth. We actually learn sort of, I mean, a lot, you know, people are like, well, what is Twisted Metal? And it's like, it's in our current story, it really is this kind of underground urban myth that as you go through the various characters, you really get to learn at the highest level who Calypso is, who runs the contest, what he really is about. I mean, it's for Twisted Metal fans and new fans alike, it really is, kind of feels more like an adventure. Every character has their own boss, every character has different levels and different events.
And all the stories intertwined, so you get to see all the perspectives.
And I'll tell you now, there are like 3 epilogues. There's one hidden epilogue. I remember as a kid, I listened to like, it was one of the Eagles' greatest hits, and if you let it keep playing, there's like this extra thing
hidden
at the end.
thing at the end, yeah.
And we did that. So if you just sit there and let the credits run in this game, and you think you're done, but I'm not going to tell you the time code, but eventually you're like, holy crud, there's this whole other
threw
movie.
even more.
Yeah, so it's a really big story.
You know you could have just cleaved that out and charged it as DLC later, right?
I'm going to take the oath. Where's the G4 oath for not screwing the customer with DLC? So
we trust you implicitly,
that, you know?
yes. We trust you with that. So what are we actually seeing here? Is this one of the boss battles that we're getting up to?
This is one of the boss battles. All 3 contestants, there's 3 core characters, Dollface, Mr. Grimm, and Sweet Tooth. Calypso, who kind of runs this whole thing, has basically funded the other contestants to build the bosses. And so this is sort of Dollface, who's this total insane kind of vain woman. She has built this huge robot that's going head-to-head, in this case with the Sweet Tooth vehicle. And it really is, all the bosses are epic, not just in size, but in terms of their knockdown, drag out. This is a 7-stage boss. Right?
I'm going to say, like, yes, there's a giant boss to be dealt with, but there's also a billion cars on the road and explosions going off as well.
I mean, I don't know how much we'll get to see, but basically, it's not just like stage 1's a little harder than stage 2. The mechanics change, the gameplay, like here we are flying missiles into her to take her shield down. Eventually, she's going to crash into a giant bridge. We're about to see, I don't know if she spins around and starts shooting these like crazy baby heads out of her mouth.
All you managed to do was really piss her off. That's all that giant missile did.
And I love bosses like that where they really do feel like at the end you're like, holy crap, I just spent an hour on her, and you have this sense of fulfillment that only a game can provide. So I'm super proud of the team at Eat, Sleep, Play and Sony Santa Monica. And here's Sweet Tooth flying around.
Yeah, now was this, from day one, did you know that the cars were going to transform and have
the cars don't. Twisted Metal is a fighting game as well as sort of a shooter. And we've always, like, they have different abilities and pros and cons. So Sweet Tooth's ability, he's got a couple of them. One of the key ones is he can transform into a robot, fly around. But you have other vehicles that can't fly at all, and they sort of have to sort of deal with ground-to-air combat, but they have their own pros that balance out the fact that Sweet Tooth and the helicopter Talon can fly all over the place. So it's all different.
Are the specials tied to the cars and the drivers, or just to the cars?
They're tied just to the vehicles. Basically,
okay, so I can hop in that vehicle, and I get both of those special attacks?
Exactly. To us, even though we know, I mean, and I'm not going to, I would love to spin it, but I know fans heard last year at E3, and they're still kind of pissed at us. It's like, we want all the characters. I get it. I do. And it's like, you know what, if we ever made another one, we hear you, we'll fix that. But for us, honestly, we really do mean it when we say that the cars are the characters. And for us, that's really what you look at 98% of the time. And it was more about, can we put those resources into having more vehicles than just having some characters that you see at the end in a cutscene.
And I love, I talk to you all the time about calling all cars, because I think it's a beautifully balanced game. I know balance is a huge thing for you. With so many different characters and so many special attacks, is that the most unique challenge, or one of the more unique challenges in making sure it's perfectly balanced?
I think there are so many challenges whenever you make a video game. Is that one of them? Absolutely. It's a massive undertaking. Experience points and balance from car to car, and now we have so many team modes that we're having to balance the team modes as well. So
can we run down some of those modes?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Nuke is sort of our signature new mode, which is kind of a twisted version of Capture the Flag, but it's a lot more than just Capture the Flag. I wanted a mode, and Scott Campbell, the co-director, wanted a mode that was really about, you know, we have the free-for-all stuff, deathmatch, team deathmatch, last man standing, but we wanted a mode that really, if you were into clans or your friends online, and all the cars are balanced in such a way that it's almost class-based play, where in that mode, you really can get, you know, a guy with the helicopter, a guy with the healing vehicle.
We need a fast line guy, we need a heavy.
Exactly, it's super, super deep. And then we have stuff like Last Man Standing Team, where you shared lives. I mean, it's a huge, robust multiplayer game. The thing we learned from Calling All Cars was we didn't give enough content for the price. And so we got kicked in the gut with that because people liked it, but it was too expensive it was our first DLC game. And so now, for this game, we're like, let's just pack that thing with as much value as we can.
Let's give them so much they choke on their own words and our game.
Absolutely.
I love it. David, again, you're one of my favorite developers. I cannot wait to get my hands on it. Thanks for bringing it by. There you go. Do we have a release date yet, by the way?
Yeah, we have a release date October 4th this year.
Love it, love it. Thank you for coming by, as always, David. Right now, we're going to send it over to Adam, who I think is ready to do some talking.
Yeah, I want to do a little bit of talking, but when you see giant girl pigtailed robots screaming, you just got to pause. And now it's time to talk. All right, some of the biggest games at this year's E3 don't involve iron sights, Link, or jumping around your living room. They're a new breed of RPGs that's taking the industry by storm. It's time for some feedback. Joining me now are Jessica Chobot of G4's Proving Ground and many other wonderful gaming things. And once again, Eric Eckstein, which just keeps coming back.
Yeah, I keep getting drawn back in.
Yeah, exactly, I'm pulling you back in.
Well, because these games are fantastic.
Yeah, so the RPG, I wanted to talk about this because I would say, 7 years ago, the RPG was considered a lot more of a niche game. You know, that was like for a very hardcore gamer, it had a very clear rule set that wasn't very accessible to anybody else. And now with, games like Fallout 3 and Mass Effect, that, they've become just really popular. Am I crazy in thinking this?
I don't think so. I think anybody that has kind of that choose your own adventure novel kind of mentality and remembers the days of doing that, or anybody that did a pen and paper tabletop RPG, it opens a whole brand new world for them. Mm-hmm. And it's easy to pick up. It's not, I was telling him earlier before we started, was that when I first came to Oblivion, that was the first kind of open world sandbox game that I had been exposed to. Up to that point, I'd been playing a lot of JRPGs, which, as long as you follow kind of what
it's very structured how you're going to be advancing
and so when I got to Oblivion, I was both enamored of it and incredibly afraid of it, because I didn't know how to play. And it really took a long time, and oddly enough, what broke me of that was the first Mass Effect, because it was just kind of otherworldly enough and gave you that illusion of a huge universe without being too aggressive, and you can just do whatever you want.
Yeah, it had some direction, but it also had a lot of openness.
I think about how cinematic these games have come now. It's like they look beautiful. Skyrim looks beautiful. I mean, it's just, you can get lost in these worlds, so I think it's definitely the year of the RPG.
And the thing is, it has the accessibility, at least initially, of being an action game. I look back to some of the older games, Icewind Dale being one of the most notorious PC RPGs you could play, but they really held to that D&D, I think it was like 3rd edition rule set, and if you didn't understand those rules, it really didn't have any time for you. It's like, no, come on, we're playing RPG now. You can try to catch up. I mean, I think to your point that Mass Effect, and we're going to be seeing Mass Effect 3 today very, very soon, really does say, like, hey, you want to have character growth, but you also want to have a game that's somewhat familiar. And then I was going to throw this to you, Eric. I've always said that that sense of character growth gives the player a sense of ownership over the game that you don't necessarily get in a shooter, that you don't necessarily get in a platformer, because to some extent you've helped create that world. I mean, is that where some of the trick is, the good-evil split?
I think so. I mean, you've seen that in Fallout 3, you've seen that in Mass Effect, clearly. I think that And what's great about, I actually find it really interesting to doing that Kinect integration where you will be voicing, not so much the dialogue, though that's interesting, but like you're giving those squad orders and things like that, so you're actually directly influencing what's going on in the battlefield.
It reminds me of Speak and Spell.
Nice. I mean, I gotta back him up. My favorite character is my female shepherd. Not only because I got to design her and do all the things of that nature, but I've gotten to see her grow. I mean, that integration from taking what happens in the first to the second to the third part of your game is mind-blowing to me. And my female shepherd's like the coolest chick I know.
Well, no, I mean, I think the thing is that from a business perspective, it's so wise because if you play Mass Effect 1, it's like, well, I'm gonna play 2, and if you play 2, it's like, I gotta play 3.
You got
it. You really kind of get them in. Now, obviously, BioWare has this other RPG that has elements of Mass Effect, like it's the Old Republic. Still don't know when this game is coming out, but I mean, I wonder if this really is the tipping point for the MMO because it does have enough of the conversation and those trappings of a BioWare game that, you know, is it going to be doubly addictive?
I mean, they're trying desperately to draw in the single player into an MMO, which is interesting for an MMO. And they're doing a really good job. The story stuff they've been showing where you can create, you know, you make a choice early in the game and a chapter later something comes up again, like you spare a Sith Lord and he comes back, he's like, hey dude, thanks for letting me live and I'll become a Jedi now. You know, it's like, all that stuff's really interesting.
Personally, I appreciate the fact that you can lone wolf it, and that's what they're trying to do. With that, I've always been more of a lone wolfer for MMOs. I don't like to be forced to group with others. I'm not a team player. I'm not.
You're a lone wolf. I will become. All right, Jessica, Eric, thank you so much for stopping by. Obviously, there are other great RPGs, like Kings of Amalur, that we are going to be seeing up here on our stage during the week. Now, for even more feedback, do not miss new episodes of our show online, and they go up online every Wednesday at g4tv.com/feedback. But now, let's send it over to Candace.
Thanks, guys. For 17 years, I have been asking myself the same question over and over again. Why the hell was Nedry stealing dinosaur embryos in Jurassic Park? Where are they going? And who was paying for them? Yes, I was asking myself that question for 17 years. Luckily, all of these questions get answered in the new Jurassic Park game from Telltale. Let's send it over to Chris Gore for a closer look.
Velociraptor, Stegosaurus, T-Rex, oh my! Telltale Games serves up a darker digital version of Spielberg's film, Jurassic Park. I'm here with Kevin from Telltale Games. He's the executive producer of Jurassic Park, the game. Tell me about the storyline.
Well, the story picks up from a loose end left in the first movie, which is this Barbasol can filled with dinosaur embryos that Dennis Nedry never had an opportunity to deliver.
And what's the gameplay like?
This is as cinematic an experience as we've ever put together. It's also the first Telltale game in which the player can die.
Yeah, I mean, also if you're going up against real dinosaurs, death is a possibility, for sure. And what do you think Sir Steven Spielberg would think about the game?
I like to think he'd be impressed. I think we've put a ton of effort into remaining true to what was great about the movie and the things that he really poured into the first film that really stuck with us. So our efforts to remain true to that, I would hope, would be pleasing to him.
If this game teaches us anything, it's don't mess with dino DNA. It never works out well for anyone.
Chris Gore. Now, if you ever wanted to see what real-life Mario Kart looked like, but you lack the money or the common sense, you need to look no longer, and you need to no longer live with that regret. All you have to do is watch G4's new series, Proving Ground. Host Ryan Dunn and some chick named Jessica Chobot are going to recreate classic video games and iconic pop culture moments, which often end with painful yet hilarious results. G4's new original series, Proving Ground, premieres next Tuesday, but you can get a special sneak peek tonight after our E3 coverage. That is tonight. Now, whether you roll Dude Shepherd or Lady Shepherd, I roll Dude Shepherd, stay right there because we've got a live hands-on demo of BioWare's Mass Effect 3 right after this short break.
G4's live coverage of E3 2011 is brought to you by Burger King, home of the Whopper.
exciting. I'm excited too that we're on camera together finally.
First time.
Hope somebody's taking a picture of this. It goes without saying that covering E3 is obviously absolutely nuts, and doubly so if you happen to work here with me.
It's
my
true.
Bad. My bad.
For a behind-the-scenes look at what it takes to put on this show, check out the Road to E3 presented by the 2011 Ford Fiesta. See exclusive interviews and more at G4TV.com/Road to E3. A mere 6 months ago, we gave Mass Effect. Is this us?
Yeah, we can't be.
Let's talk to
okay,
Neil.
we'll pick it up here, David.
We're talking about a game from 6 months ago.
All right, guys,
Take it over.
just a few months ago, we gave Mass Effect 2 the greatest honor a video game could ever receive. X-Play's Game of the Year.
Oh, I thought it was the decorated cookie that we sent the guys at BioWare. Anyway, now we're looking at part 3.
Yes.
Yes. Just better have, some Krogan action and just guns and more Shepard. Oh, let's just go hands-on.
Executive producer Casey Hudson is here to show us what's next for Commander Shepard and the Normandy crew.
I think it's safe to say that the way that Mass Effect 2 left off was that sense of imminent dread, danger, and something bad happening.
Yes.
But, Shepard and his ragtag group of, merry men.
Her.
Yes,
Sorry,
and her
continue,
ragtag group of merry friends.
Right.
We're going to take off. Where is Mass Effect 3 picking up? Because I do know things get even worse in the course of this game.
Well, we had a lot of DLC and stuff, lots of other stories that we told kind of between 2 and 3. Mass Effect 3 really picks up at the beginning of kind of a whole new thing that happens in the Mass Effect universe, which is Shepard is detained on the Earth, and you're answering for your actions so far in previous events, and but the hearings are cut short because the Reapers arrive.
When you're saying that you're being asked about your previous events, so this is where a lot of your decisions in the first 2 games come into play?
That's right, and so it's a really great opportunity for us, to take all of these things that you might have done in previous games, Mass Effect 1 and 2, all of your different choices from the very beginning, you'll actually start seeing those repercussions. Like I say, you're kind of answering for a lot of these things, and then you see that throughout the course of the game. But the other thing is, for new players, for people who've never been in a Mass Effect game before, this is the best place to start because it really is the beginning. We start at Earth, and we build out, and we're building the Galactic War, and it's the best game in the series.
And we're going to see some of the characters that we've met in previous games.
That's right. Yeah, and that's one of the really fun things we can do too is take all these characters that, frankly, we had to make these games in order to find out which ones were the most popular. We kind of find out through our fans and the reactions which characters people love, which ones they want to bring back, and then we can have a lot of fun with that in Mass Effect 3, where you might have relationships with previous characters. A lot of characters, the challenge for us is people might have actually gotten other characters killed.
Yeah.
So those characters, if someone died in your previous Mass Effect experience, then they're obviously not going to be there in Mass Effect 3.
But that should present some pretty serious challenges for you in terms of drawing a narrative and drawing a story and just how it's all going to fold in on itself.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's actually not as hard as it might seem. It's actually a very familiar kind of screenwriting process. Except imagine you're writing a story and you could remember from something previous and say, if a certain thing happened, let's do this fun thing over here. Or if a certain character lived, let's let them remember, how you saved them. So it's a very organic style of writing.
So now there were some larger combat changes from the first game to the second. Have you made the same level of improvement to the third?
That's right. Yeah, we've made a huge set of improvements, and you'll see them in a lot of different ways. Mostly it just comes down to the fact that right now we have really all the different tools that a player needs to play in different styles, whatever style you choose. So, for example, we've added a whole bunch of different movement abilities that you can do in and around combat. So the fact that you can get in and out of cover, you've got combat rolls, you can actually reach over and around cover to do melee attacks and finishing moves. And we've got a new weapon called the Omniblade.
Yeah.
The Omniblade allows you to do these visceral kind of stabbing attacks with essentially a switchblade hologram. And you got to try it to see why it feels fantastic, because you pull it out and you know you're going to cause damage. And all of these things really tie in to making great stealth gameplay. Our enemies are tougher, so the fact that you have to use tactics now, if you have a tougher enemy, for example, in this demo, we've got enemies that come at you with shields. You have a squad in Mass Effect. now flanking is really interesting. Because you might have seen that before in a FPS, drawing them forwards and having your squad go around behind, using pull to rip a guard's shield away. Lots of fun with that.
Obviously, yesterday we saw how Kinect is integrated with voice commands, both in terms of the dialogue options and in the placement of your squad mates. Is that the extent of the Kinect affiliation with the game, or is there more to come?
Yeah, I mean, we would never do something if we thought it was gimmicky or there's better ways to control it or whatever. But what we found, we were actually experimenting with the Kinect technology, and we just found that one of the great things that it does, without any gimmickry or anything, is the hardware actually does a great job of decoding voice, which takes all the work off of us in terms of having to program it. So now imagine everything that you've done in a game where you're shouting at the screen or you want your squad members to do something. In Mass Effect 3, they can listen, and they will answer you on Kinect even when you're busy with the controller doing something else.
Awesome. So when do we get to play?
Mass Effect 3 comes out March 6, 2012 on Xbox 360, the PS3, and the PC.
You know full well we cannot wait. I mean, really,
Awesome.
This is going to give some closure to some things.
That's
Casey,
great.
thank you so much for coming by. Casey Hudson, everybody. All right, to see the all-new Reaper Earth Attack video, check out G4TV.com/Mass Effect 3.
But now let's send it over to Kristen, Guardian of Tweets.
All right, thanks, guys. We just crossed the 3.9 million mark on our E3 tweet counter, so keep them coming. The goal's 4 million. It's a personal goal that I set for the show, so just use hashtag E3 on G4. I want to point out a tweet here from Awkward. I really like the name. This is for Adam and Morgan. What third-party publisher are you all excited about using the Wii U features in their new games?
Well, we saw something I thought that was pretty interesting was the idea of using play calling in Madden. So that you could actually create and maybe even design your own plays in private, and you would not necessarily have to share that information. And we also saw Ken Levine on the screen too.
Right. I guess with Madden you could kind of draw your own plays. So I could just make a really funny squiggly that would really confuse whoever I'm playing against, and they're like, "Oh no, he's a strategical master." I think the other one that everyone saw is the minute you saw Gearbox's Aliens Colonial Marines.
Right.
It's like, okay, there's my motion detector, and I can see the possibilities to create more tension because it's what you're seeing. And you can't see the TV when you're looking at the motion detector.
Right.
Those are the two I can think of right now. But in terms of a third-party publisher, I think some of the more clever guys over at Ubisoft might be able to do something quite remarkable.
Yeah. I love hearing you guys talk about games. It just excites me.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for that. All right, for that tweet, Awkward, you just won a brand new PlayStation 3. Congratulations. For your chance to win, tweet about E3 and use the hashtag E3 on G4. And for complete rules, just go to G4TV.com/win. Right now, let's go back over to Blair and Candace.
Yay, we did it!
Oh God, we're back. As always, Nintendo has an enormous presence on the floor at E3, about as enormous as my embarrassment right now. Last year, they had a huge booth showing off the little console they made. In the other
3DS.
dimension, 3DS, that's what it was, yes.
This year, we all got a 3DS. Now we need some games. Tiffany Smith is on the floor with Mario Kart and
Kid Icarus and much more!
Nintendo is kneeing naysayers in the nads this year, and the 3DS is playing a huge part with an exciting mix of classic and clever games that kicked ass. Kid Icarus, the long-awaited game. Tell me about it.
If you want deep gameplay, this is the 3DS game for you. Hundreds of different items, power-ups, all this stuff going on, and a multiplayer game. We're showing a 6-player simultaneous multiplayer mode that you can play with your friends.
The long-awaited Kid Icarus Uprising will soon be flying off shelves, but right now, switching gears to a long-time fan favorite, Mario Kart's coming to the 3DS.
You're going to have the ability to sort of customize your kart, pick your different size wheels, and you're also going to have the ability to fly and go underwater.
What's your favorite feature in this game?
I just love everything about Mario Kart. I love single player, multiplayer. I love the different items, the power-ups, and mostly just playing with my friends,
When can we play Mario Kart and fly in the air and go underwater?
Holiday 2011 on your Nintendo 3DS.
Rounding out the race course of 3DS games here at E3, the one that started it all, Super Mario in 3D.
You're going to see all new levels, all new challenges that use that 3D to give things you've never done before in Mario games. And we also see the return of the Tanuki suit, one of the, the classic things that people love.
When can we get our hands on this?
Holiday 2011.
It's obvious that Nintendo wants the world to know that the 3DS, it ain't no bust. And I gotta say, with these new titles, they are definitely standing their ground.
What was it? Okay, yeah. We can never high five like that again. We cannot do that ever again.
Okay.
Oh, darn. Coming up, we're going to hit the floor for a look at the latest game from Tim Schafer and his company, Double Fine.
Would you believe it's a Connect game called Sesame Street Once Upon a Monster? Well, it is. We'll be right back.
Can we do it? No.
Wait, one,
Can't do
two.
it. Can't do it. No,
Aw.
sorry. They told me.
G4's live coverage of E3 2011 is brought to you by the 2011 Ford Fiesta. Drive one.
I'm having such a fun time here at E3. I mean, it's really full of family-friendly games, and it is truly a wholesome... Oh. Hi. Oh my God. What? Hi. What's your name? Well, there's a lot more fun stuff coming up, so stay tuned. Just careful with that.
All right, nice, Sarah. Welcome back. If you walk the floor of E3, you'll see plenty of games that feature big guns, roided out heroes, and wall-to-wall destruction. But if you're looking for something simple and fun, Tim Schafer and Double Fine's latest game is a refreshing change of pace. And he's got the latest on Once Upon a Monster.
The halls of E3 are filled with blood, guts, and destruction, but I think I just found something happier right here on Sesame Street Once Upon a Monster. Tim, Nathan, can I play? I mean, how does this game work, you know?
Yeah, well, this is a brand new game for Connect. It's called Once Upon a Monster, and it's designed for parents to play with their kids. You guys are going to play a game where Grahoof, well, he's a scary monster, and to see if we're going to be friends with him, he's going to see if we can pretend to be scary monsters too.
But Sesame Street has always been a show that is really good for kids, but is also really funny. It has kind of an edge to it and kind of satirical, and I can enjoy it too. And that's definitely something that's behind the game. Well, it's all done in the Brutal Legend engine. We just hopefully turned off dismemberment.
No, like Muppet guts felt like flying around?
No, it's all about love.
Such nice guy. I gotta work on being a monster right now. Rah! Well, thank you guys so much for holding on to the mic for me. This program has been brought to you by the letter G and the number 4. I'm gonna be a monster now. Check it out.
Hey kids, I got a question for you.
Okay.
Have you ever tried to put your television in your pocket?
No.
It's incredibly hard to do, but good news, you can get all the best E3 2000 live clips anytime, anywhere, stream right to your phone or your Android device.
It's very convenient.
It's better than a television.
Yes.
Just have to download the updated G4 app right now at g4tv.com/app.
I will do so. Stay right there. We've got more demos on the way, including the return of a classic platforming series.
That's right, because we're going to go hands-on with Ubisoft's Rayman Origins right after this short break.
It's gonna be awesome!
G4's live coverage of E3 2011 is brought to you by Kit Kat Bars. Break time, anytime.
I'm here at the Disney booth playing Connect Disneyland Adventures. It's like going to Disneyland and interacting with all your favorite Disney characters and movies, except this time there are no lines. Captain Hook! Ah! No! You'll have to play games without me.
Poor Christopher.
Oh, Chris! TV, he's actually alive. Listen, this is a serious moment here, okay? I've got a message for all of the E3 attendees. Do not waste hours of your life standing in line for demos, people. Don't do it.
There's no need.
No.
We have everything on our stage. In fact, we're about to check out another game.
Yeah, you might have heard of it. Rayman Origins was announced last year at Ubisoft's press conference, and the plan was actually for it to be a downloadable title.
Since then, the platformer's grown in size and is now a full retail game with co-op. Let's go hands-on for more.
All right. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce this man right here, Ubisoft Creative Director, Michel Ancel, everybody. Look, man. I'm just going to do this. If you'll just give me 1 second, I've never done it. You, sir, are a genius.
Oh.
That's right. This man. That man right there. Sorry, Candace, please. Be professional now. I'm so sorry.
Now,
so
it's been
sorry.
6 years since the last Rayman game. What made you decide that now was the time to bring it back?
Yeah, you know, for Rayman is very personal for me, and I don't do Rayman games just for money and things like that. Just because I had the feeling that with the HD consoles, it was possible to retrieve the magic of Rayman 1, but with today's consoles, you know, with this wonderful graphics and all these things. The same surprise that we had with Rayman 1, and we can have it with Rayman Origins. So that's the why.
You know, we're very similar, except for the fact that I will do anything for money, and you won't make video games for money. But other than that, we're very, very similar. Now, I have to ask you, you know, prequels are all the rage. Movies and TV shows, it's all about the prequel. But you could have taken this franchise absolutely anywhere, yet you chose to go the prequel route as well. Why make that decision?
In fact, there were some, you know, I did Rayman 1. I was a teen. It was
you were
like,
a teen?
Yeah, because I started alone with a personal computer, drawing, doing the music and all these things. And I think this brings a kind of intuitive kind of game, you know, where it's something you do without thinking and just. Sure. And with Rayman Origins, I really wanted to retrieve these sensations. And the prequel is the best way to connect with Rayman 1, in fact, you know, which was the first one. And then it's a way to link those two games.
Yeah, now you also decided to take the character back to his old 2D roots instead of continuing the 3D of the latest title. Why is that?
In fact, you know, in France and in Europe in general, there is this big culture around painting, painters and artists. With 2D, you can have all these artists work directly in the game. So all what you can see is really the painting, the drawing that the artists are making, in fact, and it's a direct connection between the players and the art. That's what makes the game special.
Right. And I want to expand on that connection. I was at the Ubisoft press conference yesterday. We covered it live. And you were by far the most enthusiastic game demoer in the history of the world, jumping around on stage with your friend. Obviously, co-op is a huge part of this game. And outside of that, I think it really plays into the action, the frenetic pace of the game. You kind of need to have a friend around, right?
Yeah. The co-op thing is really interesting. What you must know is that for this presentation, I had no invincibility and things like that, and the levels were very hard to play. But with co-op, you know, the other player was able to save me, so we've saved the conference, in fact, with that. Right.
Which is good, which is very, very good.
Which is
you never want to die on stage during a live conference. Trust me, I've done it. It is not good.
Yeah.
It's not good at all. And then I know a lot of things that people are talking about too. There have been a lot of franchises that have expanded and grown out of this thing that you've created. I personally want to know, am I going to be able to kill those annoying freaking rabbits? Can I kill a rabbit in this game?
No rabbits in that game, sorry.
Oh, fine.
Why do you want to kill rabbits?
They hop about and they make all these funny sounds.
You shouldn't want to kill them.
Fair enough. But who are we going to see return? Who are some of the favorites?
Yeah, you will have the main characters of the series, in fact, like Mr. Dark, the big bad guys, you know, in the shadow. But you will have a kind of crazy English hunter trying to hunt different characters and the player, of course. And you will have the Tinsies, these kind of little magicians. Nice. And you will be able to play them in the co-op mode. So the co-op mode is cool because you have all these different races, like in Lord of the Rings, you know?
Yeah.
You have all the different races.
But far more
same
adorable.
thing. Yeah.
Well, when is the release date?
So the release date is for December this fall.
Very
Just
cool, man.
December?
December, ladies and gentlemen.
We'll take it.
I like it very much.
Michelle, thank you so
awesome.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much
so
for
much.
coming by.
Thank you. Sorry. You want to touch her first, I promise.
Now let's send it over to Kristen.
I love seeing Blair Herter just geek out. It's so cute. If you want to end up on our Twitter wall, use the hashtag E3 on G4. Right now, we want to throw a question over to Candace. Most of you guys know this is Candace's first E3. Pretty exciting, huh? And so Fanto wants to know, Candace, how are you enjoying your first E3?
Oh my God, I'm loving my first E3. I think my favorite part about it is having like everyone from G4 here.
Huh.
So like, it's
pretty sweet.
Yeah, I love it. I'm so excited.
What
I'm having
about
the best time.
working with Blair?
And you know,
I'm whispering it to you so nobody else will know that you
working
answered.
with Blair is awesome.
There you go. I like that. Thank
No,
you for that.
I'm having a blast. I'm excited for this whole week.
It is pretty fun. It's the one time we all come together as one.
Absolutely.
It's pretty sweet. All right, guys, remember, hashtag E3 on G4. Back over to Kevin.
Hey, I'm still alive. And believe it or not, we've still got another hour of E3 coverage and even more huge demos on the way. In fact, coming up next, the return of Ryu Hayabusa and Ninja Gaiden 3. Get your first look at the ridiculously bloody mayhem right after this. Stick around.
G4's live coverage of E3 2011 is brought to you by GameFly, video game rentals delivered to your door.
Sure everybody's having a good time.
I bet you are. Welcome back to G4 Live at E3 2011. We are the exclusive broadcast partner of E3, your ticket inside the gaming event of the year.
My job doesn't suck.
No.
We've also got the third loudest booth in the Los Angeles Convention Center, so not bad.
We will find out what it's like to be an alien bounty hunter in Prey 2, and then step into the shoes of some heavily armed grunts in Ghost Recon Future Soldier.
And later, the shooter that gamers have been demanding for too many years to count, Battlefield 3 will be here. I'm very excited for that one. But first, we got to send it over to Adam and Morgan.
All right, if you like your action games mind-numbingly fast, brutal, hard, and bloody as all get out, well, you look no further than the Ninja Gaiden series.
Part 3 brings some new elements to the franchise, and we're going hands-on for a closer look. Here to show us Ryu's latest bloodbath is localization producer Peter Garza.
All right. Of course, Peter, you're with Team Ninja, makers of the series. I think, because this has been really on my mind as I knew I was going to be working with you on this demo, is there blood in the game?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. Good. Okay.
You can't have Ninja Gaiden without blood.
How has the game changed? I mean, obviously, there's kind of a core mechanic that I would expect from the game, but we've seen changes from iteration to iteration. What happens this time?
Sure. Well, the core sort of concept behind the combat is steel on blood. And so trying to make the combat feel more visceral. And so you'll see as we're playing through, sometimes the camera will kind of slow down. You'll be cutting through an enemy and you'll have to like push through for that final last cut. Ninja Gaiden 1 was all about getting combat that felt right. And Ninja Gaiden 2 was all about having fun lopping people's heads off. This one, we're trying to make it more real and really focus on swordplay and what it means to like kill someone when you're that close to it.
As real as it can be in the Ninja Gaiden universe.
Right. Still with fountains of blood.
Exactly. So you're using your same katana that you've been using the past. And do you have any new techniques?
Yeah, the actual combat, the system tree is still in the works, but there are definitely new moves, and seasoned players was also, they'll feel a little bit different. Some of the moves are a little bit tweaked. You'll see in the demo, the evasion has changed from a roll to a slide, and you can actually use that to start off some combos, knock some enemies into the air. So there are definitely minor tweaks throughout the whole system. We're not trying to change what worked before, so it's still, the action that everybody knows and loves. But definitely we're trying to make it feel new, feel fresh, and feel like, Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah, I think one of the challenges for this game is that it moves so fast, and it's such a hallmark of the series.
but that does offer certain things for the camera and not getting it into that position where you are to get that next slice. Is that something that you've been looking at this time around?
Definitely. We heard feedback from Ninja Gaiden 2. People like the camera. So we've definitely taken steps to work with that. And we hope you'll see it a little bit here in the demo as well.
I mean, it does seem to be following.
Yeah. We want you to be able to see what's going on screen.
and we've been taking a look at some of the power moves as well that you've been executing here.
Sure. Well, there's a charge-up move, an ultimate technique. You can see Ryu's arm is kind of glowing right now. That has a lot to do with the story and the events that happen in the story, but it's also, in terms of gameplay, that's when you know you can fire off the ultimate technique and just go nuts on a bunch of enemies around you.
And where are we right now? So we're currently in the single-player campaign.
Right.
Where are we in the story?
We're at a really early stage in the story, pretty much the first full stage of the story. It takes place in London. Well, this part takes place in London, so flying down from Big Ben, seeing Parliament.
Asking about story in a Ninja Gaiden game can be kind of a fool's errand. I was curious. I mean, are you guys making any efforts to give some sense of explanation for this absolutely nutty world it takes place in with dirigibles and robots and demons?
First off, Ninja Gaiden 3 is its own story, so we're not looking at being a sequel. And in that, we have definitely put a lot of work into making the story make sense. Immersion into the world of Ninja Gaiden 3 is something that we're really striving a lot for. The story, it's still an action story, but we're trying to sort of humanize Ryu Hayabusa, make him like a real character rather than just a killing machine. Make him sort of the Japanese dark hero. So you'll see a more human side of Ryu Hayabusa in the game, and that also goes with humanizing the enemies as you kill them to make that feel more visceral and have more of a connection with what's going on inside the world.
Now, of course, this has always been sort of very much known for a single-player campaign, but you're putting multiplayer and co-op. How is that going to work?
Well, the details we're still working on them, and we can't really say a whole lot right now. But we are definitely looking at both versus and co-op modes for Ninja Gaiden. We don't want to just copy people. We want to make sure that we make online modes that come from Team Ninja that are worthy of Ninja Gaiden. So we'll hopefully, have something really fun for y'all.
All right, well, what we're seeing here is definitely living up to that. Do we have a release date for Ninja Gaiden 3?
Sure, Ninja Gaiden 3 is out for the 360 and PS3 in early 2012, and we just announced a Wii U version.
Wow, all right. I'm very interested to see how that's going to work out. Well, Peter, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you.
Yes, Peter Garza from Team Ninja. All right, let's get back over to Kevin and Candace.
That was bloody. After the break, we're going to put down the swords and pick up a gun.
We'll go hands-on with Prey 2, which takes the series in a whole new direction.
Yeah, forget alien spaceships. How about playing as a bounty hunter on an alien world? How about that, Candace
Hey,
Bailey?
Jinx.
Get all the details right after this.
I've been running around all over the E3 floor, you guys. It's kind of exhausting, so it's nice just to get to kick back, sit down, relax for a minute. What's this button do? Oh! Bad idea!
G4's live coverage of E3 2011 is brought to you by American Ninja Warrior. Can any American finally conquer the course? The competition begins in July, only on G4.
Welcome back to G4 Live at E3 2011. Now listen, there are a lot of cool jobs in the world. There's a cable TV host, glassblower, garbage man, but I think Alien Bounty Hunter pretty much trumps them all. And you actually get to play as one in Prey 2, and guess what? We've got a hands-on demo. Joining me today, Project Lead Chris Reinhardt, everybody.
Thank you.
How's your E3, good sir?
Oh, it's going excellent. It's going really good.
Have you bounty hunted today?
The reception is awesome with the game.
Is it?
So many people are loving it. So many people love it.
So many people have said, like, well, Prey 1, they knew it, they played it, but this seems like a radical departure. Is it not?
It's a bit different. Yeah, it's a bit different. We want to take you to a brand new part of the Prey universe. Experience new things, brand new character, U.S. Marshal by the name of Killian Samuels, who becomes that badass bounty hunter.
Very nice. Tommy's still in there somewhere? Are there portals in there somewhere?
Tommy's still in there, yeah. Tommy, you don't play Tommy, but he's definitely a character in the game. You encounter him many, many times throughout the game.
I'm assuming it's more than just a casual pass by. Hey, Tom, and that's it?
No, it's more than that.
More than that? Okay, good.
It's crucial, yeah.
So tell me, I mean, as a bounty hunter, what is this world? What are these bounties? Are we working for a corporation? Are we a lone gun?
No, you're basically like a free agent. You're going around tracking down different bounties for various factions in the world and just taking them down. And a lot of them are capture, a lot of them are kill, a lot of them are your choice.
Oh, your choice. Okay, well, what if we confuse our kill with our capture? Does the game end, or does the world adjust to the fact that we might have
just... Depends on the type of bounty. Sometimes it'll just adjust appropriately, and the client will be pissed off.
Okay, so are you building a rep then amongst all these other people?
Yep.
All right, so now I've heard the term open world thrown around a lot with Prey 2. Is the world truly open?
It's totally open. So you get to choose where you go, what missions you take, even whether you take a mission or not.
Really?
Skip over a mission if you don't like it, move on.
So completely non-linear. I can go to any part of the planet, grab a mission here.
Totally, yeah. The core narrative is linear, but you can just choose how you attack it from many different angles.
So what are we seeing right now? Are we actually on a mission?
Yes, we're on a mission. We're going after, this particular one, we're going after this kind of mafia guy by the name of Dragar. Right now, we're kind of tracked him down to this nightclub. So we're going to kind of go around and see if we can see if he's in there and then find our way in to take him down.
Those kind of mafia guys love their nightclubs. And so, is there a certain approach to the mission? Do we have to be stealthy if it's a stealth mission, or can we decide how we want to tackle this bounty?
You get to choose. This particular mission, you can choose how you go in. Like, you can try to climb up, because we've got really cool climbing abilities in this game. You can climb up, try to go in through like a second story, maybe take him by surprise, or you can bust in through the back door and try to take him down guns blazing.
Could we throw on a Dr. Seuss hat and a pacifier and just go in as another raver and try to distract him that way?
Well, actually, what we're going to do here with this one, we got a really cool thing we do with this one, is we find one of his henchmen. We go behind the henchman. We're actually going to take the henchman hostage, go in and use him as collateral.
Very cool. So, I mean, clearly more than one way to tackle a bounty.
Yeah, a lot of different ways.
And you mentioned the cool climbing mechanic, and I think we saw that earlier as the character scrambled up. Is that like an automatic kind of parkour system, or are we mashing shoulder buttons to actually climb?
No, it's super accessible, really easy to use. We want to make it really easy for the player to jump in, play it, be able to climb around the world. It's really fun.
Now, we've obviously got his henchman hostage here,
yeah.
And we've got a gun, which I'm assuming we're wielding to shoot him or the bad guys. What are some of the weapons in this game?
We've got a ton of different weapons in the game. There's over 30 different weapons in the game. Really? Just a wide variety of things. A lot of different ways to take down all the different alien scum of the world.
And if it's a capture, okay, oh no, there went our shield. And now, so there's a cover mechanic as well?
Yes, yeah.
How does that work? Is it mash a button and it figures out what kind of cover you're near?
Exactly, yeah, you slide to cover. It's really easy to use. We got this system we call agile combat. We want it to be like really fast, fluid, but also accessible. So really the way it works is as you're sliding to cover, you pop up, you shoot like this, you slide to the next piece of cover, kill a guy. It's really fast, fluid, and you get more powerful the more you do that.
Now, what is this outline on the enemies that we're seeing here? Is this like is this a power or a power up or something like that, or is that the way enemies appear?
This is our main character, Killian. He wears this visor, and he's got this scanning ability in order to, like, right now he's using it in order to see enemies through walls, basically.
And once you capture one of those enemies, how do you get them back? Do you just drag them struggling, or can you torture them and taunt them a little bit?
We've got a capture device. You kind of put him in this like large capture device, and then you send him to the client.
It's a big piece of Tupperware, and then you just vacuum pack them and ship them off? Or?
It's actually a little portal.
Oh, awesome. So the portals are here. We do have them. And have you talked at all about multiplayer modes or anything going on there?
We have talked about that. There's no multiplayer in Prey 2.
No I like that. Focus on the single player and make it a solid experience.
Exactly. We're partnered with Bethesda, obviously, and they're the masters of making awesome open world single player games. Perfect.
So is the entire core gameplay, is it going and picking up these bounties and moving on, or are there other challenges and objectives throughout the world?
There are other challenges throughout the game, and you kind of can explore around and find a lot of cool ambient activities. You can find like ambient bounties in the world. You can find, we've got one spot where you go up and you see like this alien's basically getting his ass kicked by other aliens. You can intervene, blow those guys away, save him, maybe he'll pay you some money.
Oh, that's awesome. Chris, the game really looks gorgeous. I can see why people are saying they're excited.
It's awesome.
Great too, man. Thank you so
very
much. Appreciate it. Let's send it on over to Morgan, who is probably going to go on a bounty hunt very time soon. Yes?
Torchlight was a hit with gamers who needed to scratch that dungeon crawling, loot whoring itch. So what's the next logical thing you do after such a success? You make a bigger and better sequel. Sarah's on the floor with the latest on Torchlight 2.
With Max Schaefer. So tell me what's new in Torchlight 2.
Well, Torchlight 2 has multiplayer. That's the big thing. You'll be able to play over the LAN or over the internet. We've got 4 new character classes. We're announcing the 3rd character class in the game here at E3, and it's the Berserker. We've got indoor and outdoor areas this time, randomized outdoor areas with day-night cycles and weather effects, multiple hub cities, bigger, better in every respect. More monsters, more loot, more skills, more everything.
How many levels are there in Torchlight 2?
Well, it's difficult to quantify the amount of levels, but I can say this. We have 3 major acts in Torchlight 2 and then 1 finishing dungeon act. each act is probably bigger than Torchlight 1 was, so there's a lot more content this summer.
Now, how are you feeling? Do you feel like you're going to live up to the fans' expectations?
That's always tough to live up to expectations, but I think we're going to really hit it this time. Everything about the game is bigger and better, so I think we've hit on all the things that people have asked us about.
Okay, so when's it coming out?
Well, we don't have a specific date yet, but it's going to be later this year. It's going to be coming soon for the PC, and shortly thereafter, hopefully, will be a Mac version.
If you're not careful, you might find an axe in your ass in the revamped RPG. It's hard to top an original, but Torchlight 2 looks bigger and better in every way.
G4's new series, Proving Ground, premieres next Tuesday and shows you what happens when you try to recreate video games, pop culture, and movies in the real world. Watch what happens when you try out our real-life Mario Karts.
Let's bring that dummy in.
It's like looking in a mirror.
It actually is kind of creepily accurate. I'm gonna hit it, because...
Yeah.
Ready?
MacGyver could have done this with a tampon string and a hot pocket. Yeah.
Oh, God, that... You just... Turbo boost test, 1.5, Ryan's rocket. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I think we got enough fuel.
You melted! Oh my God!
I was in there 10 minutes ago.
Whoa, hey! It's the stars of G4's new original series, Proving Ground. Jessica Chobot and Ryan Dunn. Hey guys! How you doing? Thanks for stopping by.
My pleasure.
I love this.
Thank you.
Is that heavy?
No. Yes, it is.
Listen, now the show looks awesome. You're dressed as Princess Peach and Toad. What kind of insanity can we expect from Proving Ground?
I would say pretty much through the roof.
Anything, everything?
Anything and everything.
I punch in her taco.
He does.
You what?
Punch her taco.
You punch your taco?
It happens. I took one for the team.
No,
it was okay because I was sitting there kind of grinding in front of your face.
What'd you expect me to do?
I don't know.
It happens.
I would probably do it too.
It happens.
Now, are you guys really tough, or are you just like pretending? Because you're constantly hurting each other, right? On set?
Not constantly, but it's a common occurrence.
Yeah?
Let me tell you about the time that Ryan exploded the back of my thigh with an air rifle. Or let me tell you about the time that Ryan had me thrown up into the air when I'm scared of heights. Or let me tell you about the time that Ryan had a scorpion bite me even though I'm freaking out about scorpions. Or let me tell you about the time Ryan decided to toss me into an electric fence.
Really? All of these things? You've done all of these things to her?
No.
Yes. Yes, he has.
I
Yes,
don't.
you have.
No,
I don't wish I was you. All right, well, you can catch a sneak peek of Proving Ground tonight, immediately following our E3 coverage.
You want to try this? You want
What
to
is
try
this?
steering wheel?
What is it?
Just a taste. Here.
Taste?
In the Mario Kart episode, we have a shocking steering wheel, so we brought it
Is
with
this a
us.
shocking steering wheel?
Well, it's not as bad as what we use on the show.
Fine. Do it, Candace. I did it. You gotta do it.
But,
What?
Let me see. I'm gonna try. Come on, do it.
Put your hand on. Put your hand on. Nothing.
I'll shock you. I'll shock you.
I just feel dirty inside.
It's not. It's a different type of shock.
She is a far braver woman than I must say. Now, do we want more games?
Do we want more
If
games?
not, then what are you watching? So, coming up, we got a just announced PS3 exclusive.
Yeah, Starhawk lets 32 players battle it out on the ground, in the air, because 31 players just really isn't enough.
No.
So they've got 32 of them. And you're going to see it in action when we come right back.
Boom.
Live coverage of E3 2011 is brought to you by G4's Proving Ground with Ryan Dunn and Jessica Chobot. New series premieres next Tuesday at 8, only on G4.
You should definitely clap. Starhawk is not your typical third-person shooter. Running around and blasting guys is only a part of the equation.
Yes, you can build structures on the fly like an RTS, and then you can take off in the mech and bomb the hell out of everyone.
Hooray! Let's see how it all works in this hands-on demo. president of Lightbox Interactive, is here to walk us through this PS3 exclusive. Okay, so this game is the successor to Warhawk. How is it the same? How's it different?
Well, it's one star and one's war, right? So that's different.
Okay.
Warhawk was multiplayer only, and fans around the world loved it. But we really wanted to try something different with our follow-up product, and we knew the shooter genre was crazy stacked with Gears and Battlefield and Call of Duty and all these great games. And so we thought, well, let's take some chances, let's try some new stuff. So we came up with a new universe and a new, essentially, core mechanic called Build and Battle, which is what we've got in Starhawk.
Now, this is a blending of action and strategy. Those aren't necessarily two tastes that always taste well together.
No,
I have faith in your hands, but how have you blended them?
Well, because we all like to mix drinks, and this is a good tasting drink. Very early on, we wanted to create a fast-paced shooter with RTS light elements. And some people are saying, oh, RTS, dangerous. And if we were to make it where you had to manage and do all this stuff like chip stone and wait for this and build, we said screw all of that. We basically said, let's make building almost like abilities, really quick things you can just do, boom, right on the battlefield. You don't have to manage anything.
So because they actually drop buildings where you want them.
Yeah, and I actually remember early on in our design meetings, we were talking about, how are we going to manifest these things in real time? And we thought, well, what's more brutal than dropping a huge crate from space like a comet? And we were like, oh, that's awesome. That's a good idea. So that's where we ended up.
And it's going to sort of depend on where you put your buildings. You can put them anywhere on the map, and that's going to change your strategy.
Yeah, absolutely. And the player has a ton of freedom both in single player and in multiplayer.
Is it true that when you were looking for inspiration for this game, you kind of looked at Plants vs. Zombies and Pixel Junk Monster?
Yeah, absolutely. The game is, at its core, a third-person shooter, right? But there are some fantastic systems in all kinds of games. For example, destroying units for currency, Pixel Junk Monsters. Those tower defense elements, the plannable waves that happen in Plants vs. Zombies. And in fact, in the game for Starhawk, you can see in the upper left-hand corner the different waves of all the different units. And that tells the player what's attacking when and when he completes it. So you can plan your strategies based on when you know what's going to attack.
And so what kind of environments are we going to see?
Tons of epic environments.
Tons. I love epic environments.
Right. I think the E3 terms, epic got replaced with addictive, right?
Okay,
You're supposed
I
to use it. So they're addictive environments. There's a ton of different environments. We've got desolate moons and vast acid seas. We always get asked about space environments. Yes, we have space environments. We're not showing them here because, Sony wants to be like, oh, unveil that later. But they look awesome.
One thing, I was mocking the idea that what you tend to hear in E3's past is it was built from the ground up. Seeing how the buildings are incorporated in this game,
we're literally
they're from the top down.
Let's see, can we incorporate more cliches? We built it from the ground up to take it to the next level with the addictive epicness.
I just want to ask really, really quickly, was it easy for you to want to do the single player like you had wanted to do with Warhawk?
Yeah, I mean, Warhawk had great multiplayer, and we have a ton of rabid fans. In fact, there was a woman who flew up from Brazil to play Starhawk, and she's been camped out at our booth. So we have rabid fans.
Yeah.
But single player allows players to see the universe, the new universe we created, and give players that way to grok all of the core systems before going online. And you can level up in solo and unlock stuff before you go online.
Awesome. So when do we get to play?
Well, I can't say specifics. Everyone asks specifics. So I always respond in the Maya apocalypse year. It's 2012. Somewhere in 2012.
If we make it that long, we can't wait to play.
If you survive, you get to play.
Dylan,
thank you.
Always a pleasure. Dylan, tell them, everybody. All right, let's go back over to Kevin and Candace.
If you'd like to turn invisible and shoot people who are asking for it, then I suggest you stick around for our next demo.
That's right, we're going to go hands-on with Ghost Recon Future Soldier right after this. My Future Soldier.
Welcome back to G4 Live at E3 2011. Now, the U.S. military has all of the best gear,
but they won't get me to enlist until I can start running around like the Predator. Even then, they probably wouldn't let me in, actually.
Cloaking devices are just one of the many high-tech gadgets you'll use in Ghost Recon Future Soldier, and we've got a hands-on demo.
All right, here to show us the new Ghost Recon is creative director in Ubisoft Red Storm, Tommy Jacob. Thank you so much for coming by and bringing a very good-looking game.
Now, Ghost Recon Future Soldier is the 10th title in the series. Where and when does this game take place?
So the game takes place in a setting not too far in the future. The idea is that the ghosts are fighting a shadow war that's going to have them traveling all over the globe.
Okay.
Now, as I just said, this game is really pretty. I mean, it's all I could expect for Ghost Recon. It's a gorgeous game. But we're also, there's so much info and so many ways that that the screen can change. What are you doing to kind of balance that barrage of info so that the player can kind of just step right into it and start playing?
Sure. So what you're seeing is the augmented reality. There's a couple of stages of that. What you'll see in the immediate vicinity of the soldier is the augmented reality that pertains to his equipment and his gear. So you see what we call the war, which is the weapon augmented reality around the weapon. And then you see the augmented reality that appears in the world, and that's to allow the headquarters to communicate to the ghost mission-critical information.
All right. I want to follow up because you just saw some combat right there. That enemy AI has always been one of the trickier things in the Ghost Recon series. How are you guys approaching it this time around?
Well, the enemies, as you'll see, Roman's getting ready to walk us out into some of the enemy encounters. Some of the things that we're doing to interact with the enemies, it's a really exciting feature that we have where you can do the coordinated shots. So you as a single player can set up shots with our coordinated shot system, and you can have all your ghosts bring down selective groups of enemies all at one time.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds good and brutal.
Now, what types of new weapons and equipment will be used in the game?
So I know you guys have been very interested in hearing about the adaptive camo.
Yeah,
so obviously
totally.
that's going to be in the game.
What's that about?
So the adaptive camo is a system that actually the military is actually investigating right now. It's a system that in the game, as long as your character is moving within a certain speed, not outpacing the equipment, the character will go into this kind of camouflage state and allow them to sneak through the map very stealthily.
Yeah.
A lot of the other equipment that they'll be using is in regard to our intel loop, which is a big part of our game and how our gameplay is different. So we have over 13 pieces of equipment that allow you to interact with the intel loop, communicating information, mission-critical information, and enemy position information to your teammates.
Now, we were talking a little bit about how the squads with the synchronized kills, but what are the other ways that you can interact with your squad mates and kind of set up that badass SEAL Team 6 moment?
Right. So we have a very exciting system. It's called our coordination system, and what that allows you to do is non-verbally communicate your intentions to your teammates. The other thing that allows you to do is it creates a low barrier of entry for players coming into the map for the first time. If you don't know the map, it doesn't matter. The objectives pop up on screen. You use the coordination system, awesome. A quick tap of a button. You've got a path in the world that leads you to where your objective is. So it's one of the other ways that we're integrating the technology and the augmented reality that's actually being developed for the U.S. military, and we integrate that into the gameplay.
Because it is a Tom Clancy game, it has to be based on something that people think is possible.
It's authenticity is a huge part of our gameplay, so a huge part of our experience.
Now, it's also Kinect compatible, so how will you be able to control your soldier through hand gestures?
So the Kinect implementation right now, it's extremely cool. You guys may have seen the demos. The Kinect implementation right now is focused in a feature that we call Gunsmith. So there are 52 weapons in the game. There are 49 different attachments. So if you can imagine that over 10 different points of the weapon, any one weapon could have over 1 million combination possibilities. The Kinect is one of the interfaces that we allow the player to use to make those connections. So as you may have seen in the demo, you use hand gestures to break the weapon apart. You can use hand gestures to select through a lot of the different roles of the equipment. Or if you want to get in there really quick, interact with it, it uses voice commands. So you can tell it, optimize for range, optimize for close quarters, and it'll configure the gun for you the best for that situation based on the equipment that you've unlocked. Get you right back into combat real quick.
Now, what we're seeing here is single player, but this same game can also be played co-op.
Absolutely.
Correct?
So what you're seeing right now, Roman's playing this in single player. However, the single player campaign, it can also be played up to 4-player co-op as well. And in addition, we have a full multiplayer side of the game as well.
All right. Great. When does it come out?
We're releasing in March 2012.
All right, it's such a long time to have.
I know. But in the meantime, we get a lot of fun playing in the office.
Of course you do.
Just for polish.
Tommy, thank you so much for
very,
coming by. It's really nice to meet you.
Looks great.
Now let's send it over to Kevin and Morgan.
Can you believe that we have been live for almost 5 hours?
Yes, I can.
Don't fail now, though, even though Kevin's a little tired, because today's grand finale is coming.
I will wake up for this, Morgan. Battlefield 3 is coming to our stage, and you do not want to miss it. Stick around. I'll wake up for that.
All right.
Tomorrow, G4's live coverage of E3 2011 continues with even more hands-on demos of the show's hottest games. The Dark Knight returns, along with his villainous rogues gallery in one of the most anticipated sequels of 2011, Batman: Arkham City.
Who sent you?
Plus, SSX is getting a major reboot with a realistic makeover that's unlike anything you've ever seen. Fire up your chainsaws. The Gears of War trilogy comes to an explosive conclusion with the biggest installment yet. And the epic struggle between Jedi and Sith continues in the massively multiplayer masterpiece Star Wars: The Old Republic.
You'll answer to me.
All that, plus exclusive interviews, the latest trailers, and all the news as it breaks.
Oh, that looking like some fun. All right, folks, it has been 6 years since the release of Battlefield 2, one of my favorite games. In the meantime, we've seen spin-offs, of course, like Bad Company, 2142, and the free-to-play Heroes.
But never a true sequel until now. It is time to talk about one of the year's most anticipated games, Battlefield 3.
And joining us today is executive producer Patrick Bach, everybody.
All right, so you brought us some video, and I would love for you to tell us a little bit about what's happening in this video.
So what you're seeing here is a demo that we showed the other day at the EA press conference, and what we're showcasing is actually I would say the quite opposite of what we showed before, earlier at GDC, where we showed tight infantry combat. Yeah. Now we're showing big open maps, vehicle focus, big explosion, big bangs. This is the width of our game, and we want to show people what we're building.
And are we looking at multiplayer footage here, or is this part of the single-player campaign?
This is part of the single-player campaign. It's just a snippet of one of the missions.
Are you announcing where we are or why we are at all?
Yeah, this is actually on your way towards Tehran. So this is in Iran.
Looks exactly like the photos from my Flickr pool. Yes, it looks true to form. Obviously, we're seeing incredible lighting effects, and you said we've shown off the intimate environments, which look gorgeous as well. But the fact that the new Frostbite engine can handle expansive terrain as well, just a beautiful engine. What work has gone into raising the graphics bar, getting the fidelity there, destructible environments?
Yeah. So the interesting thing with the engine is that we actually had to build a new engine to build this game, because when we designed it, we wanted to move the genre forward. How do we go into the next generation? And you don't do that by just adding a feature or moving into a new location.
Hey, look, new shaders. No, we need more.
Yeah, you need more. So what we did, we rebuilt the engine from scratch. We looked at all the problem areas that we thought we had, and we actually looked at what do people want in 5 years, rather than what did we build last year. And of course, it's everything from the scale of the maps. You can see here that it's huge maps. We have the lighting that makes it look pretty and wonderful. Animation is a big part of this. We want characters to come to life. And you have the destruction, of course. Destruction is really important for all Battlefield games, especially the last couple of years. And this time around, we're doing even more things with destruction. And then, of course, audio. We have won plenty of awards when it comes to audio, and we're also showcasing that here when you can actually feel the battle with all these things coming together in this mission.
And so right now we're taking a look at some tank combat, but what other vehicles can we expect?
In general, Battlefield has always been about multiplayer. We're showing multiplayer here at E3, so everyone can get in line and play it, of course. And of course, single player has become a big and important part of our game. We're also adding a co-op mode into the game, which is a 2-player co-op. It's focused around missions on unique maps, and it's kind of the centerpiece between the narrative-driven single player and the complete sandbox open multiplayer. So I think the package would be really, really attractive.
But in terms of the array of vehicles, though, I mean, obviously we've seen tanks. You know, can we expect jet skis, ski-doos? Do we got hot air balloons? Do we have jets? What are we actually driving around and killing people
Yeah,
with?
we have all of those.
Okay,
no.
good.
Of course, you know, it's a battlefield game. You need to have vehicles. One of the things we're bringing back are the jets, and of course they're controllable.
Right.
So you know, you will be able to fly a jet both in multiplayer and single player. And you know, we have some skilled pilots from Battlefield 2 that really is looking forward to the new jet system.
I've been killed by those skilled pilots many a time.
But there's always a way to get back at them, right?
Yes,
yeah.
always.
So when we're talking about ground combat, obviously you don't want to change the mechanics too much, but have you made any tweaks to it?
Well, yeah, one thing that we see as very important is the actual movement of the soldier. We really want the player to feel like you're on the battlefield. So you have a lot of small things, but one thing is that you can now hurdle over objects. It's easy to get over objects in a very cool way. Another thing is that we have a cool suppression system for the LMGs. So you can now actually mount guns on flat surfaces. So if you have a car in front of you, you just mount your gun on top of that, and you get a steady stream of bullets, and then you suppress the enemy, which gives them an effect that actually keeps them away from you and your friends.
Oh, so they kind of stop spawning or stop popping up for fire, and then your squad mates
You get a visual effect, and you actually get a suppression bonus for suppressing enemies. And if someone kills the people getting suppressed, you will actually get a bonus from that. So it's a supportive action. So that adds a lot to the gameplay.
I always love when there's always bonus for assists in a game like Battlefield, because it really fosters that team cooperative play.
Yes.
There's so many games that say like it's team deathmatch, but it's really everybody out for themselves. With Battlefield, you have to work as a team, which I love. And to that, I know you obviously will have like a team deathmatch mode, but what sort of multiplayer modes can we expect?
Well, of course, you know, team deathmatch is something we've actually never had. So we just said let's do that. You know, it's easy for us to do it. We have the technology, and we have the luxury of actually adding vehicles and destruction on top of that, which you haven't seen in any other game before. And then of course we have the Conquest game mode, which is the classic Battlefield game mode. Huge open maps, you have jets, you have helicopters, tanks, everything, as well as a lot of infantry. And then we have the Rush game mode, and then we have some secret modes that I haven't revealed yet.
And so are we going to be able to sort of unlock and rank up our weapons like in previous games?
Of course, you know, this is I'm glad you asked, because this is something we've been looking at really thoroughly, because you know, you want Battlefield to be the game that anyone can play. Right. You want your personality to shine through. You mentioned the supportive actions. You want people to be able to just help other people to win the round. Rather than just having, you know, if you're not a Twitch skilled 14-year-old, you will lose. You know, we don't like that. Everyone should be able to play the game. If you like supportive actions, that's really important. And the guns. So you can now customize your guns in, I don't know how many possible ways, like it's a million ways.
We'll dedicate another 15 minutes to talking about that at another time. Is there a release date yet?
Yes, of course. We're releasing the game on 360, PS3, PC on October 25.
I will be first in line, good sir. Patrick, I'm a huge fan of the series. Thank you for showing it to us. We really appreciate it.
All right, for even more on the game and the all-out tank assault video, just go to G4TV.com/Battlefield 3, and we're going to send it over to Kristen.
All right, thanks, Morgan. We're here at the Twitter wall. Just want to talk about Orly Eyes, who says, I've never had this much fun with Twitter and G4 all day. You guys are totally rocking E3. Let's make it to 5 mil. We're almost there. We're nearly to 4 million, but we'll have to pick it back up again tomorrow. And just for that tweet, Orly Eyes, you have just won an Xbox 360 for your chance to end up on our Twitter wall and win an Xbox of your own. Just use #E3 on G4 for complete rules. Go to G4TV.com/win. I'm all out of prizes today, but we'll see you tomorrow, like I said. So keep tweeting, guys. Let's send it back to the stage.
Hooray, the stage!
We did it!
Listen, we've been on the air for 5 hours today, and we saw a ridiculous amount of games.
And it was awesome.
Adam, what say you, good sir?
Okay,
What's your personal
I'm a
favorite?
little split. I mean, that Battlefield demo you guys just got to see.
Yes.
That game is a technical masterpiece, unlike something I thought possible this generation, but I also want to really call out Uncharted 3. I mean, it kind of brought back those wonderful memories of playing the game, you know, or playing Uncharted 2 just so recently.
They should give you Dramamine as a pre-order bonus for that game.
Yes, it's like, get ready to go like this.
All right, well, I definitely love Skyrim. I mean, the dragons, everything. Very popular choice. What can I say?
Mine was Dance Central too, because I love it.
Yes, she does.
I know.
For myself, honestly, I'm a huge Dave Jaffe fan. I love car combat games, Twisted Metal. I'm so glad to see it back.
It looked really good.
It was a lot of fun.
Really did.
And if there's one thing we know about his games, they play well, they're balanced, so I'm excited.
Well, that's it for today's coverage of E3 2011. We will be back on the stage tomorrow at 3 o'clock Eastern with even more.
3 hours of live demos, 3 hours of interviews, scoreboard, and all the
Please don't hurt me.
Yeah.